that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. You know, I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who wants to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to talk that good old boxing talk. What's going on, AC?
What's going on, brother? I just wanted to take the time to do this real fast. When you introduce yourself, you let everybody know who you are. You're Michael Rogers. For everybody on the opposite side, I'm Michael Arrington. So that just tells you where some of this symmetry comes from. So at the end of the day, man, let's get this going, because this is a great day to talk boxing. Just in my opinion.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. As always, there's been a lot going on, man. My thumbnail ain't my best work, but I didn't get to relay my illustration the way it was in my head, but I got as close as to what I could, and I'm a perfectionist. So normally I would give it all the bells and whistles. I would nip and tuck this, but I had to do this because this is something we wanted to do yesterday, and I normally like to take a day. Normally like to have a day in between the lives, just to space it out, man. Because until I really have a lot more free time and I can really get into the time slot I want and go on every day with all the bells and whistles, it's just better for me, man. I don't like being I really don't like being put in a category with some of these other people that do content all day, every day, and it ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing fun. It ain't nothing original. So it kind of gives me time to kind of think and mull things over and not have to react. There's always news coming out. I seen some unfortunately I seen some tank news today. I'm waiting to see what the if there is any validity to this stuff, like what's the scope of it, because it's just wild, man. So I'm not gonna be a knee-jerk reactionist on that, but like it is all in the TMZ, it's everywhere. And then I've been seeing other people as I could, because only my work phone was working today. Verizon had this nationwide thing, and I'm sitting up there resetting my phone and turning it off and putting it on and toggling the airplane mode, and I'm doing all of the little things that they say do, when you haven't. And plus I used to work for Verizon. What's up, Melazar? Salute, man. But I'm doing all of the things that they say do, like when we, in troubleshoot, just working there, and then me just, being with Verizon for so long. And then I said, well, bump it. I said, I'll handle it after work, man. I said, shoot, I know my deductible like 150. I had already started thinking about that and saying, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. As soon as I get out of work, I'm gonna shoot over here. And I listened to the radio. I was listening to the radio, and they said, yeah, if you got Verizon, and all you get is emergency call signal all day, they are aware it's a national thing. And I was like, here I go. My mind just got to wandering. I'm on the road delivering these supplies and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so it wasn't just my phone. Yeah, I was like, I know my bill. I got like another 7 days before my bill due anyway. So I stay on top of that. And plus, I ain't had to deal with nothing like my phone getting cut off. So I knew it wasn't because of the ends. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep my phone. So I was
Right.
so I had a time today where I was just riding and listening to the radio, and I couldn't really do my thumbnails. I couldn't really look up nothing like past like from noon until shit not too long ago. But go ahead, what you were saying?
I was gonna say, I was watching a video earlier, and after I watched the video, I tried to call you to be like, yo, let's cook on this thing right here, because have you seen this? And it was telling me the call that I was placing couldn't go through, so it was in the type of recording that had me thinking, wait a minute, let me check the date, because I did not pay my phone bill. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, hold up, this is not right. So then I called my lady, and she's like, this is what's going on. So I called a couple other people that I knew who had Verizon, and you know, it was just pretty much it. When she got in from work, she told me what was good. So yeah, Verizon was on some crazy shit today.
They still are, cause I it was long enough for me to get online and make the thumbnail for my phone, and then long enough for me to send it, and then it's back to doing what it's doing. I'm getting that same thing again. So it's not. So I ain't worried about it, man. I ain't worried about it. But anyway, that's how the day went. But I'm just like, well, maybe they don't want me to talk no boxing today. Maybe they want me to let it simmer saute a little bit. But we here now. I made it. We got out there. You know what I'm saying? You here. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's see. Let's go with some housekeeping, man. Let's see. Let's get some housekeeping out the way. In the way. Let's talk about this Teofimo versus Shakur face-to-face review. Let's have a little quick review about that, man. What you think about that whole exchange?
I thought it was a good exchange. At the end of the day, it makes me more and more intrigued to want to watch the fight to see what's actually going to go down, because the energy Teo was given versus the comments of Shakur Stevenson, I'm still like, I think people gonna sleep how this fight gonna turn out, man. I think so. Just my dynamic is still pretty much the same as far as how it goes down, but the energy of these two guys, it seemed as though Teo may have been a little, I don't want to say like frustrated where you are frustrated at your opponent, to like you may be just frustrated in, are you serious? Like when you're talking to someone and you're trying to have an intellectual conversation with them, or just a real conversation, and they just keep saying stupid shit, and you just get that face like, are you serious? Like, where are we at right now? And that's kind of the energy I was getting from Teo.
Salute, Melazar.
Salute, guys. What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Did you see the face-to-face with Teo?
No.
Right,
no, but I knew what was coming from, but yeah, the build-up and stuff is young guys doing it, I don't know the way, they don't want to watch a little bit here and there. Yeah, the energy is like CJ. That's CJ, I got it this time right? Shit. He's saying, where is the energy at? Like how I don't watch this whole stuff live. I just watch some clips here and there. And I think, okay, the guys can give us a good freaking excitement. Like I believe those two have the talent, the energy, the youth to do it, to give us a show. Okay? Like, I don't know, Shakur gonna be too worried about the zero. I don't know, like, because how long Teofimo isn't in a ring? It's almost 18 months by now. So, and his last opponent, who was his last opponent? Who was Teo's?
Manhattan.
Wasn't Claggett. He got somebody else after that. No. Ortiz or no, was somebody else?
Barbosa, was it Barbosa?
Barbosa.
Barbosa.
Barbosa was
Yeah,
the last
Barbosa.
one.
Yeah,
You
Barbosa.
know, and he was able to play that sleek move of Barbosa and get the win. Wasn't what we wanted, but you know, people, I was expecting that he was gonna knock out Barbosa, right? But didn't happen. They was like the build-up was so and pump up, and then. But I don't know. Shakur got this stuff. They should stop talking like little kids and see where they at and who they are, and start acting like real fighter, real man fighter. You know. But
I
that's me.
think if you would have saw today's interview, part of what you're saying would have been adjusted because it was a lot more calm. It wasn't some of the crazy stuff. It was just the two of them just talking.
Just talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me.
I need
Yeah,
to watch
let
it.
us
Oh,
break it down real quick, Melazar,
yeah.
because we saw it. So let us talk about it real quick. And run through this, and then we can open it up all the way, like to where we just talk about whatever. What was going on was like Shakur is he's doing this thing where he's giving T.O. his credit, but he's Indian giving pretty much. So he's giving these glowing compliments because Shakur does this. He will big up his opponent. Like Shakur's gonna make the opponent going in like seem like they the best thing since sliced bread. Like going into a fight, he will do that. Like he's not one of the ones that take away from his opponent, like you said, Melazar. But with T.O., he's basically saying, yeah, he foresaw that, eventually they was going to face each other. And he's like, he saw moments in time with T.O., which like pretty much showed his brilliance. And he said he wanted to see himself, compared to that, like see himself compete with that. And so T.O.'s rebuttal was like, yeah, he's like, man, I foresaw that me and Shakur was going to do this. But I saw it more like down the road. I thought that, when the dust settled a little bit more, it would be down the road. He's like, but here we are. It is, it's pretty much time. It pretty much came early. And Shakur is on this thing where he did what AC said, where it's like he slowly but surely is trying to push T.O. into the same category as Zepeda, which is like, I mean, it's wrong. It's like it's there's no comparison. Him and Zepeda are not. Zepeda is not. He was trying to say that T.O. never faced someone like Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? But he has faced somebody like Zepeda. Like, and T.O., he had a real look of frustration, and T.O. is looking at this dude like AC was saying, like, are you serious? Like this is like the way I got it was like, man, T.O. had this energy, like, man, you see, you think this shit sweet. You think that I'm gonna go in there and play with you. He's like, man, that you can't call it a takeover and have somebody like him move up and try to take this over. Like, no way. Like T.O. looked like he's like dangerously focused. And I'll say this, to a certain extent, I think T.O. is I used this comparison before with Oshaki a little bit because he showed this in his fight. Well, I call them cardiac kids, to where when their back is all the way up against the wall, when their back is all the way up, okay, when their back is all the way against the wall, they perform. And I see you, Travis Bryant, like, I seen the news, man. We touched on it, but we gotta let everything come out with that. But yeah, man, it's from what's going on, it don't look good, man. I just wanted to acknowledge your comment, Travis. Yeah, we seen it. Appreciate the comment. But this is the thing with T.O. This is the spot where T.O. is the most dangerous. In both instances where his back was all the way up against the wall and going into the fight, he was like overwhelmingly like not the favorite, like he was the underdog. That's when he showed up and showed out. And I think this might be the perfect storm to where T.O. is feeling like he's looking at the newspaper clippings. He's doing salute Dev Wall. I appreciate you for jumping in. He's looking at the newspaper clippings. He's reading the newspaper clippings. he's hearing everything. And like when Pop came over here, he said, yeah, he's like, I'm still fascinated by the fact that they saying that T.O. might pull the upset. He like the champion might pull the upset on this. Like, and I think T.O. is feeling every bit of that. I think T.O. has actually got this. He kind of got a chip on his shoulder going into this fight. Now, he could go in there like he did with Kambosos, but he wasn't healthy when he went in there with Kambosos. He can go in there like a bull with a china shop against somebody as dangerously accurate and as poised as Shakur, and he can get embarrassed. But I think he might have learned from that. See, one of the things is, in which I'm hoping, like what we're gonna talk about later on, like with Brian Norman, when you go through when you suffer a loss like that, you can draw from it, you can learn from it, and you can put some things in your rucksack and move forward with it. So now is the time, like I always say with those windshield wipers, how you got bad windshield wipers and you realize that because it's raining, and then it stopped raining, and you don't go repair the windshield wipers. But if you do go repair the windshield wipers, the next time it rains and it pours and you go to use them, they're good. Now, T.O. repaired his windshield wipers. He fixed the flaws and did the things and made the adjustments that he needed to. When it rains and it pours, he's going to be ready. You know, and I got the sense that T.O. is like, man, like Shakur, you thinking this shit sweet. You sitting over there thinking you're going to go in there and it's going to be cute and everything's in your favor. But like, as far as your plans, I'm going to spoil your plans.
Yeah, and the part, this is where I'll say there's a level of confidence in Shakur. You feel what I'm saying? Because he truly believes, and just like Tio said, listen, you if that's what you believe, it's what you believe. I can't tell you, what you believe. It's what it is. There's this part of Shakur that he really feels that he's going to beat this man easily, maybe because all the different big names he's got coming through, and how everywhere he looks, he's reading the papers, he's going online, everybody's talking how much of a favorite he is in this fight. So in his mind, he just wants to go out there, take all of that energy, put it in one big battery. You feel what I'm saying? Put that in his back and go out there and perform. That's yet to be said if he can handle that much power and putting a battery that's that big in your back. You can easily, if you ain't built for it, you're going to short the fuck out. And this is the part where it makes it intriguing for me. If I had to look at the two and say, so far in every media conversation that was there between the two of them face to face, I'd have to ask myself, who's more believable? At the end of the day, looking at the totality of it, I can honestly say they're both. Shakur really believes what he believes. Tio believes what he believes. Tio is the one that's looking like they both believe what they believe, but Tio is the one cautiously, smartly weighing out the options where there could be pitfalls and things like that. And his cautious approach, but believable approach, to me has him in a space where now I could see through you. I'm going to keep using this word tonight, accountability. I believe Tio took accountability for the Kambosos loss, some of his bad performances, the shit that they talking about, the Jermaine Ortiz fight. During this thing, he probably went back and looked at all of that and really, really studying, because he knows who he's up against. He's seen this guy. He was like, yo, hands down, this dude right here, from 26 on down, nobody can beat him. When I first saw him.
Yeah.
30, he was incredible. 35, you still that guy, but I don't know who you really are now. And it's just that level of respect that Tito is giving Shakur tells me that he's grown a lot. He's still doing this crazy shit, and I just want to keep it about the boxing match.
Yep.
But he's grown a lot, and he has this sense of, you feel this is your time, but guess what, homie? This is my time too. So we gonna see who actually gets the 15 minutes of fame, and that's the part that I'm like, yeah, I like this last one because I could see you believe what you believe, Shakur. You really believe you're gonna go in there and make easy work of this dude.
Right.
You
I
really,
saw it. Like the pops, I just watch it. Right when you guys was talking and stuff, I was like, let me
yeah,
get
it's only
into
like
it.
four, yeah.
Let me see it. Let me watch it. Now I can talk. Was of course professionally made. You know, the tables, the lights, was a lot of editing. I still don't like how Shakur sit down in that chair like that and the chains. And go with a suit. Go like you own the place. You know, like you're a businessman. Whatever. I saw in Teofimos when he was talking respect but determination. You feel me? I saw Shakur little more confident, like how Devin was versus Ryan Garcia. Not like that way, but you know, because a lot of people are giving him favoritism and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say like Tio, and I'm gonna take my hatred, my fan guy. You know, I'm gonna put the fan guy outside. I'm not gonna talk about Tio in how I feel or whatever. It's not just boxing, right? So I think Tio, you know, can give another title defense like what I saw right now from him, the determination. Then I saw Shakur eye, his smile, the cockiness and stuff. Yes, he's good. He's coming up way. Tio been here for a minute. Tio don't fight for you know what, a year, something like that, because whatever. So that's the only part that I'm like, cabron, you've been outside the ring for a minute, and Shakur fought the other day with Cepeda, right? So
I mean, it was April. I mean, to be honest, it was what, April?
last April.
Yeah, that
And
was what, March, April. That was the time. That's that New York card. Like that's that new when Devin fought.
no, he fought with Subriel, with Berlanga and Shakur. That was the card. That was the
I'm
one in
saying
August.
Tio. I'm saying when Tio fought, it was that card when Devin fought Jose. When
Yeah, the
Rolly
one in
fought,
New York. Tio
Yeah,
fought the last
Rolly
time he in
fought-
the street of New York. So you
Yeah.
see the period without being in a ring, and like that sometimes affect the boxer. I don't know, but Tio been here a lot of time. He has proven, not like Matias, and this hurts some people, but Teofimo has proven when the lights are in the brightest, he come out and give his best. Okay, Matias, he every time the lights are bright, he fail. Is my guy. Whatever, I take it. So that Teofimo have that when the lights are in the brightest, he show up. Shakur, you know, he's not been the main event yet, like that in this core. So let's see how much is that weight now. Like, oh, now the lights is gonna be in the brightest of the brightest. Are you gonna shine like that? And you're gonna fight like, you know? I don't see Shakur that favorite like people want to say. Like, I think Teofimo can pull it off too.
So
Yeah.
let's answer Dev's question. Dev say, let's say Tio makes Shakur go in game plan B. Is Shakur's game plan B just as dominant as his A? I'll answer it.
You first. It's your channel.
It's like Mike Tyson. Well, you know Mike Tyson said everybody got a plan until they got hit in the face. And most of the time, what happens is when you get hit and somebody make you panic, you're gonna go back to whatever your safety zone. And Shakur's safety zone is to elude and to evade. So it depends on how hurt and how bad he is. He's gonna go back into elusive mode. So every time, so Tio has to be very tactical. And I think he has to change up the speed, he has to change up the timing, and he has to change up the power in order to fool Shakur. So he kind of gotta like because when he put all the mustard on it, he gotta make sure Shakur's in a position where once I put the mustard on it, I can continue to close off the ring and I can capitalize on it. Because if it's at the end of the round and you let him get to the corner and he get back to Wally, and Wally start telling him this, he get that ice on his neck, he get rejuvenated, he get to recover and all that. That next round is going to be evade and elude.
Yeah.
So that's when. So by the time T.O. does that, and he makes him go into that evade and elude, because that's his plan B. His plan B, he's gonna go in there and try to fill T.O. out, and then it's gonna be to evade and elude. It's gonna be to joust, to fence, to outpoint, outclass. That's what it's gonna be. That's just Shakur, like through and through. I don't see nothing changing. I'll put money on it that's how it's gonna be. Once T.O. hurts him or makes him convert over to plan B, T.O. needs to make sure that he still got some energy. He got to make sure that going into this fight, he got to be like Mr. Gary Russell, the champion who reigned for 6 years, 352 days to be exact. He got to be like he say all the time. He has to be in 15-round dog shape, because those windshield wipers, the thing that I always say about T.O., whether or not he can cut the ring off, we're going to see if the windshield wipers are good. Because that's what Shakur is going to do. He's going to make sure that he can cut that ring off. He's going to make sure he's going to exploit. Oh, okay, when I escape to the left, T.O. ain't got nothing for that. Okay, well, that's my answer all night. And until he stopped that, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do it so much that he going to get frustrated, and then I'm going to start poking him. I'm going to start, sitting down on some shit every now and again. And I'm going to take a couple little gambles. You know what I'm saying? I think Shakur might gamble a little bit, but the answer is, if T.O. has not fixed his problems, dominant, I don't know if it's gonna say dominant. I'm gonna say he can outpoint him in that with his plan B. He can still outpoint him with his plan B. But
Yeah.
that's Shakur through and through. That's my opinion though. But go ahead, AZ.
I would end it with, instead of the word dominant, I would use the word effective. Will it be as effective as plan A? So when you talk about Shakur, yeah, his plan B is always going to be elusive and then pop you and then create that exit. Shakur is one of the young fighters who's mastered the ability of creating his exits. He gets that from Ward, working with Floyd Mayweather, working with Terrence Crawford. These guys know how to create these exits, and when they create these exits, it's like a slight turn. So as they created the exit, you now have to face them, and they're already set and in position. These are some of the keys to where we talk about being great with defense, because creating that exit is a great defensive move, because when done properly, you don't necessarily have to physically turn the person. You turn the person because they're not there, and now they're looking for you. By the time they found you, you created that exit and circled. Now that you circled, now I got to reset and go to that half moon, quarter moon, whatever that thing is going to be. So that's one of the keys for Shakur to actually slowly, mentally frustrate T.O.
Yeah.
Is in his ability to create those exits. Now, the opposite side of that is, I don't remember which fighter it was. Zepeda. When you look at some of his performances with Zepeda, like he would pop him, then step to the side, step out, pop him, throw the right, probe him, do a stab jab to the body, probe, try to rip the guard down and hit him up top, and then throw a couple of combinations. If T.O. hasn't fixed those mistakes, you can expect once Shakur creates that exit, he's going to be looking to land those type of combinations and then get the fuck up out of Dodge, because that's going to frustrate T.O. T.O. is going to have the feeling that I'm losing on points. I need to create something, yada, yada, yada. And that's where it's going to slowly go downhill for T.O. if he hasn't fixed the things he needed to fix by, I guess, going back and taking his accountability for his performances, for some of his bad performances where he felt he didn't get up, get up for the fight, and then for his loss against Kambosos, rushing in and just wanting to get it over. So expect on Tio's side a little bit more patient Tio, but an aggressive Tio. On Shakur's side, once he gets hot, once he gets caught with that, expect just an effective game plan, but not dominant. It's going to be effective. Dominant is not the word that's going to happen. It's just going to be effective. And that's where I'll land that.
Yeah. I see it like if Shakur, if the plan A is not working, what is going to be his plan B, right? And we think it's going to be avoiding and moving backwards and exiting, right? Like making the exit. Now, if ya Teofimo's camp know for advantage how Shakur wanna exit and stuff like that, and work on cutting the exit, cutting the ring, don't let him move to the right, don't let him move to the left, then is when we're gonna see how Shakur gonna perform. He said he like the rope dope, right? Stay in the ropes and do that stuff and connect. We can see some of that. Like Teofimo, if Teofimo keep lingering, that Camboso loss, oh my God, bro, that happened I don't know when. Forget, who cares? You're champion right now. You got like 3 defense, 4, and you're the longest 140 champion so far. Okay, you're like, yeah, you're the longest one. Even people heard that shit. He's the longest reigning champion in 140. So, I think, and he been in the bright lights like this. So, Shakur can play the exit, can play the avoiding game, but I think, right? I don't know. I'm not in the camp and stuff like that. I think already the Teofimo's camp has worked in cutting the exits, cutting the ring. Don't do me the Jermaine Ortiz again. Okay, don't be walking, following him. Cut that ring. Walk lateral. Lateral.
Lateral, yeah. I'll say this. He won't. Shakur better not do that ring, that rope stuff against T.O. That'll be a very, very dangerous move against T.O. You know what I'm saying? T.O. is twitchy, and he's powerful. And the one thing I can say is this: we're gonna see Shakur with somebody that is going up against somebody whose power carries late. Because when you look, even if you do go back to that Kambosos fight, he still dropped when Kambosos dropped him, it was a flash knockdown. But late, like in the 10th round, when he dropped Kambosos was really hurt. Like if it was more time in that round, T.O. would have finished him in that round, but it was late in the round. He got up, he cleared the count, and it was pretty much over after that. And then T.O., I don't know what happened, but he disappeared in the championship round. This is gonna be a fight where T.O.'s power can carry. And I'm not sure if outside of Nakathia and some of them guys in a lower weight class up here at this one, if T.O. is comfortable the way he say he is. He said it took a while, I'm gonna take his word for it. Say it took a while for him to get used to everything. But this is gonna be the first time we really see Shakur fight somebody that is that athletic and that explosive and that got that kind of punch. Because contrary to popular belief, we saw what Zepeda did to him. If T.O. catch him with that same shot, he's going down. Like he's not withstanding that punch. So it's gonna be a different ball game. And T.O., you can say what you want about him, but like a lot of these guys, they not just running through him. Like his power might not be the same as 35, but they not just running through that shit. So, and with Shakur just coming up there, it's gonna be the first time. Now his punch resistance could be better. We don't know. And they're saying this newfound power thing. I just think it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna spend too much more time on it, but I just think it's interesting. So we're following that along. Let's get down to the second one. Devin is continually slandering Hitchens, but won't send the contract. Now, there are sources out here that's reporting that it is a done deal with Hitchens and Oscar Duarte. Hitchens has came out and said that it's almost done, but it's not. But like there are some sources that say, yeah, it's going down. It's going digital. Where it's going to be him and Oscar Duarte. Me, I can't blame Hitchens. He asking for money. He's asking for whatever it is. He's the champion. He won it. He had Teofimo, did the rights in the ring. This supposed to be his unification. He said fuck Haney. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen. Haney went up there to Norman. He asked Richardson Hitchens asked, he said, I want next with Brian Norman and Hitchens, and I stand on this. If Brian Norman would have won, I think we would have got that fight next. They would have entertained that fight. It would have been a conversation about that fight next. I believe that. The fact that Devin won, it ain't. And Devin is up here putting out this man information saying, oh, he turned down this amount of money and being all sloppy. But I remember when Shakur came out and he let that recording come out about Bill, and people shat on Shakur for that. And I'm like, man, maybe Bill is one of them kind of people when he around, you might want to have something rolling because, you know, the type of character he is. Like, I mean, I was like, people say, oh, that's snaky, that's grimy, that's whatever. I'm like, well, when you're dealing with snakes, sometimes you got to hiss, you know, just like they do, you know. So, but I find it odd that Devin ain't got nothing. He's looking for his biggest knee pad wearing, tonsil jewelry spraying, displaying, throat coat spraying fan is up here campaigning for this man to get a fight with Manny Pacquiao. First, it was what his other fan, like the Ness was saying, Errol Spence, who's coming off of inactivity. BF, he's saying Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, man, y'all are some, like, don't ever talk about one of my guys with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But Devin got enough time to slander and put all his personal information out, but guess what? He ain't sending no contract to Richardson Hitchens. And it looked like Richardson Hitchens getting busy, even after not getting the Keyshawn fight, even after not getting the Jermaine Ortiz fight. He's getting a fight with Oscar Duarte. So, I mean, that's the green print. It's a rough and tough style. If he's gonna have to fight Oscar Duarte, or you know, he's gonna be the matador to that bull, and Devin just get to sit around and just like he's doing the same thing what he used to be doing, man. Like picking on people and stuff. What y'all think about that?
Bodywork. I got that one the first. You know what? It's showing the IBF. You know that shit. That title right now is a drag. Whoever grabbed that IBF is fucking stuck. Okay, you had to fight your mandatories because nobody want to do the 10-pound rehydration, right? Like, or they use the IBF to get in the top contender, so then they show to the other organization, man, I'm freaking 10-8 in the IBF, I'm 2 in IBF, and they you see what happened with Matias. He was number 1. The fight was not happening, so he grabbed the title from Puello because they used that ranking. But nobody want to fight the IBF. Yeah, nobody want to fight in the IBF. Nobody want to do that anyway.
Rehydration. Yeah.
Thank you. And Lindolfo Delgado, he fought for the number 1 contender. So he is the mandatory. Nobody else is Lindolfo Delgado. So what the fuck you fought a number 1 contender mandatory if you are not going to fight the champion? Hitchin did that to Subriel. And now Lindolfo is doing it to him? Or what's going on? Because if you pull him down from this fight with Ortiz, what the hell was it? Make the fight, or you don't have the money to make it, or what's going on?
But guess what? You know
that title is a drag.
Look, you know what he's gonna do though. Hitchens saying after this fight, he's saying my time at 40 is done. So he's like, unless he get a unification after this, he going up to 147.
Have to because and grab other title, the WBA, WBO, because the IBF, nobody want to fight under the IBF because, you know, everybody want to blow up. What happened? I heard Subriel blew up to 160. We saw how out of gas he was, you know, because he that stuff 20 pounds, hydrate 20 pounds, papi, overnight, that is water and stuff. But whatever, they do whatever they do, the boxers do. But I'm saying that IBF or the other organization have to put 2 a weight limit, or I don't know, but nobody want to freaking fight under the IBF.
That's the sad part to me, because when you really look at it and you say, all right, who would really be the real fighters, the guys that belong in the division. At the end of the day, we're in a weird era to whereas guys want to maximize the rehydration. I mean, you've already got the carte blanche of changing the rule of same day weigh-ins and stuff like that. Now you have the 24 hours to rehydrate, and they bend the rules to go all the way to 25 pounds, and then it's supposed to be 15 pounds, and they don't really know. Some sanctioning bodies don't know when and where they want to enforce these rules. IBF said no. We're old school. We're going by the old boxing rules that if you are a true champion, then you're fighting within 10 pounds of your natural weight. So if guys don't want to do that, hey, listen, I still may be a fan of yours, but if I ever hear you come out your face and say, you know what, I don't know about the IBF because it's the rehydration. No, you can fight under the rehydration. You just have to get acclimated to it. That means if you're a guy that's walking around at 170 something pounds, trying to shrink down to 140 pounds, hey, I don't think that division is for you. So I don't have no problems with the IBF. I like the IBF rules.
Me too.
I hope they keep
I like it too.
But AC, check this out. The WBC, when you become champion, they give you hat, t-shirts. They have all this propaganda. When they're gonna give you the title, they go to places so people know, right? So that was in the mayor house, in the governor house, at the Dalton's meet in the middle of New York City. They give what the IBF do when Matias was IBF champion, was in a table over there. Nobody was no media, no nothing. Other boxers the same shit. And the IBF is so prestigious, so many good, and it's the American company. It's not from another country. It's right there in Jersey, in Newark, I think, is the headquarters.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all something though. Let me. AC, did you see what? Did you see that? You saw the interview with? Yeah, you saw it. I think you saw the interview with Roy Jones and Andre Ward.
Yeah.
And they had Keyshawn on there.
Yes.
And they had Jermaine Ortiz at the end.
Yeah.
In that interview, man, Andre Ward was like, "Man, this new era. This was a new term. This was unfamiliar to me. This whole weight bullying thing. It was always under the assumption if you made the weight, then that's the weight." I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I made the same face. I was like, what?
I'm like, man, why? I do not understand for the life of me. You have everything going for you. You are like one of the best to ever lace them up. Why do you got a cap? Why do you got a cap? Weight bullying is a thing, and y'all know, because it wouldn't be something like there wouldn't be like PEDs and then SARMs. Yeah. Like there wouldn't be substances that help that are not legal that you can take that help you lose weight or cut weight if weight bullying was not a thing.
But remember, before, the Americans wasn't known for weight bullying or nothing like that. That came from Mexico and stuff. Then when some of these boxers start winning different division, now they want to replicate this shit with every single boxer. You don't see how they put it in 130, 120 and grow up to like 160, 150. Yeah. Like what?
Like Navarrete, like and it shows, like it always shows, like some people are really talented, but like when you weight bullying, it really shows. Because when you look at Navarrete, the difference of 35 and 30, when you look at him from 30 to 30,
to 35. Yeah. When he go up 35. To 35, he can.
Yeah, you go up to 35, like damn near everybody in the division gonna bust his ass. You go down to 30, and you see how his body is comprised. It's like he's weight bullying. But look, this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I can applaud the WBC for. Like with the WBC, there are benchmarks approaching the fight that you have to make, or they're not going to commission. You're not going to be able to go through with it. because they were almost getting ready to dock Lamont Roach going into that pit bull fight, because I think like a week out, there are benchmarks. I think a week out you're supposed to be, I want to say 10 pounds. So but they're
Yeah,
like
close to the weight.
15.
Yeah, because they have a lot of people who died and stuff from that extreme dehydration close to the fight. Because in Mexico they do it a lot, and it's a Mexican company, so they did that of that benchmark, like close to the fight. You have to be around the weight, like 10 pounds, 12 pounds. So you don't,
Yeah.
like 2 days before the fight, you don't dehydrate freaking 15 pounds. And when you
Yeah.
go to fight, you're just a dead dog up there, you know? Because happening like that is what they used to do, dehydrate these people in 2 days, then they dehydrated in 24 hours. But the other guy is fine, he's in weight class and everything. So when you go up in that ring, your brain don't have all the water, your body is just full of water, but the muscle haven't come back, and you get massacred in that ring. You know, they run out of stamina, speed, everything.
And that's the part where part of that rule change I don't mind, because what was happening back in the day is guys were suffering a lot of brain trauma, and some dudes didn't bounce back. Like you got too much water on your brain and you get punched in the head by a power puncher, bro, you are basically a vegetable for the rest of your days. You know, so at the end of the day, there's part of me that can agree with the rule change, but part of me still says this: fight near your weight, your natural weight, because at the end of the day, we're seeing guys move up and they're looking a lot more impressive. And that's part of the complexity of where the Shakur fans are super excited that he's moving up, because they think they may see something else, a bigger, stronger, a guy that's really being able to sit down on his punches and put some real work in with the top level contender. I mean, with the top level fighter. But real fast, before we go on, this thought just entered my mind because it was something that I saw in a recent Gary Russell interview, and I had to go back and check. If O'Shaquie Foster and what's the name was supposed to have fought for the WBC interim, why is the other dude sitting there? Why hasn't O'Shaquie been awarded the interim belt? And that's just a question,
Because he made a decision to stay at 30.
Yeah. I forgot that part.
So
yeah,
that part was slow,
and
bro.
Then JDR Herrera and another guy. JDR Herrera just stopped the dude the other day. It was wild. He got dropped. He got dropped too. He got dropped. He wound up coming back and stopping the dude, and he knocked over the ref. And so now he's the interim. JDR Herrera.
Yeah.
I know baby. Tell Shakur I know baby. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy is now in the interim, and O'Shaquie decided to stay at 30. But guess what? Mr. Gary Russell had popped out, and he thought that O'Shaquie was staying at 35. Like once he got the interim, he thought he was staying there, and Mr. Gary was like, "Well, come on, shorty, let's get it on." So we almost, if O'Shaquie would have stayed in that seat with that interim, Mr. Gary Russell was going to ask for that smoke.
But I think he wants that smoke at 130 because he's like, I'm campaigning at 130.
I would like it.
Nah, he
I would like it. Russell versus Foster at 130.
Yeah, he campaigned at 135 because he still want the tank smoke.
But he's still ranked at 130.
Yeah, they don't got him right though. But his last fight was at 135. He's like, I'm campaigning at 135. He want Lamont Roach. He want Tank. And if O'Shaquie would have stayed there, he would have took O'Shaquie. But he's staying at 135.
Yeah, but you see, Navarrete will not gonna take Foster. I bet you that he don't got the balls to face Foster. He know he gonna get his ass whooped all night.
Who's that?
Navarrete versus Foster. Acho, Foster will whoop that ass all night.
But they need to give it to him. They need to give O'Shaquie that so he can whoop his ass and get his cat. Like they need to feed the Navarrete. Navarrete done got Navarrete done feasted on plenty of other people that he weight bullied. You know what I'm saying? So he need to get fed to O'Shaquie. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because
That's
they have fed him so many trash. You know, they sell it to the Mexican fans and whatever, but Navarrete been fed just garbage all this time. You know, yeah, fourth division WBO, okay, is good, but again, like, bro, for real. So I think Foster versus Navarrete is the fight to make. Like that's the fight to make 2026 for
yeah.
real.
Well, all right, so let's get to the last thing then. Let's get to this last thing real quick. And me and AC, we've been cooking on this shit, and we tried to tell y'all, man. We to quote Jason's lyric, the chick on Jason's lyric, her friend, the one that was messing with Tretch, she said, "Don't get me all revved up," and I got to get that clip. If you can't hose me down, you know what I'm saying? Because Tretch would be messing with her, and then he'd be rolling out, going off in the streets, and she'd be all hot and bothered, and he'll leave her. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes down to Oscar versus Eddie, and now, you know, with Oscar and them saying they're moving on, and now you got all of them cats up there crying and whining and doing all these videos. It's like, dude, like, we told you so.
Okay,
Like, and I don't even
Bubba.
like being a "we told you so" kind of guy, but I said, listen, if it's that, and we gave history, we gave long lives, we gave pertinent information, we gave examples, we gave matchups where they did this, we gave history on Oscar doing this. We said, look at how long it took Ryan to get off the pot. Look how long it took Jaime Munguia to get off the pot. Look how long it took Zerto to get off the pot. And when they got off the pot, they got their asses busted. I was like, so listen, we were both saying, listen, it was a time when, and nobody wanted to talk about this. This is why I say people gotta be more in tune and gotta be more vocal at the time. Because everybody want to cry, and I'm a fan of the guy in Philly. I'm a fan of that guy. I bought tickets and took my lady up there to Atlantic City to see the fight. So I put my money where my mouth is, right? To go support Boots. But I was saying this, as a guy that's on a label with Eddie, you cannot guarantee a fight with a fighter on another label unless y'all already have it an agreement. And when it came down to it, when you were sent the offer, that camp, Virgil, Oscar, all of them, and you don't think Oscar was looking at the money because he get a certain amount, the manager get a certain amount. When it was an offer made and Turkey was offering the big fight and it was a contract, y'all said no. You don't think that fighter was like saying, oh no, okay, so you said no. You basically said no right now to my big payday. So you don't think I'm gonna come around and bite you in the ass? You don't think Oscar is like, you don't think he ain't gonna come out and say it, but you don't think he was pissed off that when it was an offer out there from Turkey, when he was playing before the money got cut off, where he was gonna pay the bag for y'all to fight, and Boots said no? That was no to everybody. So the percentage you would have got, however many million that was, or whatever percentage of that they was gonna get, you said no to their big fight when Turkey was gonna foot the bill. So you think that when Turkey not footing the bill, and you can come over there and dictate terms and say that you're the A side, and we just gonna get down? It's like, no, that was not gonna happen. Whether or not he thought he could win, whether or not his father thought he could win, whether or not Oscar thought they could win, they're looking at it from a business standpoint. So we was telling y'all, don't get your engines all revved up because you're not gonna be able to get hosed down. And y'all wasted a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of videos saying the same old thing. Y'all still wasting energy right now. And Boots got sold a dream by Eddie.
Yeah.
Because
Not by Eddie.
Listen, and
Not
I'm
by
gonna give it
Eddie.
to y'all. I'm gonna say that. Look, I'm gonna give it to y'all after this. Eddie just showed y'all, like he pretty much just spit in everybody's face. You know why? Because he signed Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker said, "Show me the money," and guess what? They showed him the money. That chick Nurham or whatever, she just got a multi-fight deal. They have money. They just don't got it for Boots. So if you're gonna be the A side, and you're gonna claim and stake that territory, then you're gonna have to fork the money over to do it. Or you're not the A side. You're over there looking like You're begging because you need him more than he needs you. And you can try to make the fans try to say that Virgil's a dog and do all of this and all that. We flat out said it. I said it. Yeah, Virgil might know that it's an ass whooping. Why? Because the flat-footed come forward pressure fighter is tailor-made. That's a custom-made suit for Boots. He smacked those out of the park. So they already know it's a bad matchup. We could call him a duck till we orange in the face. It don't change the fact that y'all had mismanaged Boots. And now Oscar is doing what he always do. He's showing his ass because he had the upper hand in those negotiations. Point blank period from my perspective.
Yeah, it's because we got cowards for promoters, right? Because Oscar was the golden boy and he was always on top in his deals as a boxer with top rank. But that was you, bro. Okay, and then Eddie Hearn is because he don't got the guts to make events by himself and like Orengo did and stuff like that. So what happened? You got Boots Ennis. Cabrón, is a bigger name in the States. Yo, by miles over Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz, that have just a small American crowd. When you put the Americans versus the Mexican American crowd, the Black Americans are bigger, okay? So, and he got a title, and he was champion in 147. So yes, his pedigree doesn't matter. Those two guys that you just beat, that should mean nothing. You don't have no title. You never have won a title. You're still a prospect at your age. So you will not gonna tell me you're worth freaking 40 at the 40%. And the point for you as the contender is not to make the money, is to gain the title. So then you can get the money. Oh, what Dalton Smith? He got 20% of the bet. But what is more important, the money right now or becoming a champion so I can sell it and make money? So this docking stuff is not in the boxers, it's in this cowards promoter that don't want to do the business and work together and make real, like, cabrón, in that fight of Sobre Matias, Andy Cruz versus Murataya was a perfect co-main event. You can sell freaking Andy Cruz or Murataya to the world in pay-per-view in New York, but no, you want to be so greedy, you want to make it so black-handed to the other guy that you shoot yourself in the foot because you can make more money for the other seats that shit gonna fill up. You see, they don't see the business like bro.
I have to say it like this. I just followed what I heard from the promoters. I watched Boots versus Lima. I saw what Eddie was saying. Eddie was saying right there before he stepped in the ring with Virgil, or whatever. Eddie was saying that for him, the fight is bigger if they both have a belt. It's a unification. It's blah 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 blah. Oscar basically just said the fight is bigger if they have a belt. Why do we need to rush it right now? You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when we were saying it, we was like, look, this fight is not happening until these two guys get a belt. That's the shit that makes the most sense. When you listen to the promoters, that's what they want. Now, when it comes down to where it was things was being stated about Eddie, here it is again. Here's one of these situations to where it's, hey, you know the truth, you know your game plan, but because you see the opportunity to drag the other guy down, you choose to do that, knowing that Boots and this guy is not going to fight anytime soon, because you know that the money for the fight is if they both have a belt.
Yeah, and they scared of losing the fucking zero. They want me, if my boxer lose the zero, I gonna lose money. No, if they go a good fight, bro, you're gonna have more fans and more people to come. But
and at the end of the day, De La Hoya and Virgil are smart enough to know you're next in line. Why give up that opportunity and your leverage? If you heard what Oscar said, he kept on using the word in what he was saying. He kept on saying, why would we give up our leverage?
What leverage? He don't have no
You have the
leverage.
leverage if you get the belt first. Virgil been
From
at
who?
this before.
From who? From who
Let
he
me
gonna
say
get the
this. Hold
belt?
on. Let me say this. When that whole thing came out about Turk, wanting to make a big fight with Boots, and then Boots turned around and said, I want 2 tune-ups. That shit pissed the Turk off because he wanted to make that Virgil and Boots fight right there, and you dudes would have got the money that y'all was looking
That's
for.
what they say. That's what they tell us. Like.
But
Oh,
at
they
the
say
end of the day, it makes the most sense because when you look at everything, you have 2 options. The fight can be big and everybody makes money if the Turk is behind it, or the fight can be big and everybody makes money if you 2 guys got a belt. The first offer was there. You guys can make the money, and then you could get a rematch. Then whoever wins or loses, you can get the rematch, would then even be bigger now that you two got a belt.
Again, so okay, Mera, check this out. Virgil Ortiz gonna take the title away from Fundora. Virgil Ortiz gonna go. They gonna give the chance to fight and the other 2 titles. Sander Saya's gonna fight for two of the 2 titles because he got the WBO and he gonna fight. I think it's the WBO or IBF, the other one that the other guy got. So then, and then you got the other title. Who got that title?
WBA. You got the WBA and WBO. That's Xander and
who got the IBF?
The IBF is Baccarat.
And I don't think Boots wanna go back to the IBF because he know nobody wanna do that shit. So right now for the promoters to make, because we don't need Turkey money. That fight for the interim WBA title in Philly or Texas, sell in New York, whatever you put it, because people wanna see that fight. They just scared of what? Of losing the 0? Of losing what, bro? Because none of them gonna get the full title tomorrow or in 2026.
All right, now I hate to do this, but Melazar, just hear me out. Let me explain something to you, Melazar. This is what I think is missing, right? I understand exactly what you're saying, but this is the way I see it, right? And I think my man in the comments, I think he get it. BC TWT. This is what we get, right? Okay, listen. There was a point in time when everybody was looking at this guy just like this, right here. They were looking at him like this. This is what he was. This is exactly what he was, right? He was a sugar daddy. And so for a period of time, he was doling out cash. He's still giving it, but he's kind of selective in who he's giving his cash to now. The bag done shrunk, but he's getting more selective in who he gave it to. From like take off all of your box, and I hate to do this because I'm a boxing fan. At the end of the day, I want to see these fights, but we can't get stressed and be putting out the wrong message out here because we're not looking at things from the right perspective, right? So Melazar, you a businessman, right? You're a businessman. So there was a point in time where Turkey Al-Sheikh had a big bag for these 2 to fight. So when one party says, nah, I'm not gonna fight, you fuck up my big bag, that might be 2 or 3 times what we would have got since you didn't agree. And see, Virgil had the momentum from going over there and fucking with he fought Bodywork, and then he fought Madrimov right after Bud. And so if they would have did it if Boots would have jumped there and got it, they both would have got a big bag. It wouldn't have came out of the promoter's pockets.
Yeah.
It's just like when you catch your mother on the phone and you know your mother talking on the phone, you be like, hey, Mom, can I get some cookies? There. All right, you mind if I get a slice of that cake too? Boy, go get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like at that point in time, the purse was open. Like it was like, okay, it's free money. It's a money grab. So since you said no, guess what? Okay, so now we got to go back to the drawing board and we got to get more opponents. We got to move the way we got to move. Where they moved in a manner to where now they in the catbird seat for the major belt, a belt in which Virgil never had.
I never will.
So he might not, but listen, but you got to keep your business hat on, not your boxing hat, your business hat. He's never had the belt. Oscar is controlling everything. Anyway, that's his label. That's his fighter.
Yep.
He wouldn't have had to come out of his pocket. He would have actually profited and not came out of his pocket. And yeah, that would have been okay to put your commodity at risk. Why? Because the money was there. He's not at this time after Turkey done bankrupted the market. He done overinflated everybody's purses. They're not going to go into their bag and take a 40% against Boots, knowing that his guy getting ready to get obliterated.
Yeah, because
so hold on. This the other thing. Boots and them had no leverage. Like Boots let up his leverage. Like Boots had the IBF and he had the WBA. He didn't use either one of them. He didn't use neither one of them.
Eddie, that was his promoter. You feel me?
Then Eddie wins a purse bid for Bakram. So Eddie pretty much owns the whole purse bid for Bakram to get it on with Kelly, and he lost the purse bid for Boots. He lost the purse bid for Boots, and
that's what he do.
Yeah, he lost that last one only to have to come back and buy it. The second Quran fight, and then they gave Boots also is on record. He's on file saying that he gave some of his purse to make the Stan Giannis fight. Like you think so you think about it. And he got a unification off of that. We all hear the news. We all see what's going on. You don't think that Eddie and them know, okay, well shit, Boots gave up some money, so now y'all gonna come over here and try to strong arm us to make us give you Virgil? Nah, bro.
Come on. And check this out. That's the problem of Turkey. And I'm not mad that Boots say no to Turkey's money, because you have to travel over there and go through that bullshit and roll by the BBC. No, I'm bro, whatever. And he did that too. He overinflated the market. Now every boxer look at Schofield thinking $10 million. They made it come to crazy. Bro, start filling up chairs first. But Boots and he's like, that's the problem. Like Oscar de la Hoya is the problem, and Eddie Hearn both are the problems, because they don't want to do it here and do it because that's a main event and that's just sale. I know you.
Yeah, we know.
That's just sale.
Look, we know, but we can't put like, because I see it's another dude. He come on every week or every other day saying the same thing. That's not going to get us to fight, guys. No. And we already knew, like, a leopard's not going to change his spots. This is who Oscar is. And I always say that Eddie is just another version of Oscar. Yeah. That's all he is. And Eddie don't have American boxing. He don't give a fuck about American boxing.
No, he don't give a damn. He want to take our stuff and build it over there just with the Turkey. They want to steal our shit.
So we can't waste no any. That's why I was trying. Me and AC was on this shit all last year. We were trying to say, man, listen, preserve your energy, man. Do not get tossed around like a motherfucking rock. Like Bob Arum said when he said boxing fans are like rocks. You could pretty much just toss them.
You know, the only way I see this fight happening,
around like all the time. We know who Oscar is. We know what his MO is. You know what I'm saying? We know who Eddie is, and we know the shenanigans that Eddie be playing.
But the only way I see this fight happening is that if they put it in a bid and a promoter like Orengo buy it and then he put a car under it, that's the only way I see this fight happening. But if it's between Eddie Hearn and Oscar de la Hoya, bro, forget about this shit, because that unification is not going to happen, and they are not going to fight unless one of them have a loss, because right now they are too worried about the zero instead of making money and do the fight that the people want so the people can keep buying good boxing. They don't give a shit about that neither. I don't know. They're really bad businessmen, both.
But my whole thing is this. I would be a little weirded out to feel that a person like Oscar de la Hoya is trying to protect somebody's oath. Now, the reason why I say this is because that was the beef he had with Canelo, because he kept on trying to make these fights with tough fighters for Canelo. He tried to make, the Charlo, the Andrade, all of those fights that he was like would have propelled Canelo to superstardom way back then. him and Canelo's fallout was because Oscar kept on saying, I'm trying to get this guy to big fights, but he keeps turning them down for these fights that he feels he can win.
And ended up
This is
stealing his
that
money.
was also Chavez's issue. Because when the Spanish dude broke down what Chavez was saying to Canelo, he was like, bro, it doesn't, if you get losses, but you're fighting the best competition, nobody cares. All the legends have losses. Nobody cares. We more so care about the big tough fights. So that whole Mexican, I'm not fighting Mexican stuff. No,
Yes.
that's not the Mexican way. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to Oscar De La Hoya, I believe De La Hoya is smart enough to know, okay, my guy can't beat this guy. So if you want my guy to fight this guy, it's got to be something juicy in it for my guy. You feel what I'm not protecting his. Oh, I'll make the fight, but y'all got to give.
40% is way too much. He's not worth that much money. Like in any way, like, and I don't know. Like they're fighting for bullshit because for real, like it's ways to beat Boots. Or it's not like damn Boots is 99-0. Like no,
Yeah,
like
no.
he's got his chance to win too if that fight happened. But bro, just make it and make money.
It's more than like the probability. This is the thing. The probability that Boots is going to win is high. That's not saying that Virgil can't get the job done. Virgil has more than just a puncher's chance. It's just that they know that style is tailor-made for Boots, and you have to compound the fact that you made them miss a paycheck, bro. Like they're not gonna do you no favors. Like, listen, if me and you get ready to go, we got a contract. We got a contract. Somebody want to pay me and you to go do a job, and we're gonna get paid 3 or 4 times more than what we normally get paid. And you like, nah, not right now. Right? And then that party's not involved no longer. And then you come back to me like 6 months later, and you're like, all right, man, come on, let's do it. But only one thing, Mike, man. I'm getting the lion's share of this because I've actually, it's my idea. I actually found this, you know what I'm saying? I got a venue and all that, like, and yeah, we gonna split this. I'm gonna get 60, you gonna get 40. I'd be like, man, fuck no, you made us, we could have got 3, like, we wouldn't even have to do this right now if you would have did this back then. Like, Oscar and them, no, this is why we're trying to tell the dumbass fans, like, it's an argument, it's an argument that you're not gonna win. Because you made them guys lose money. Everybody. So they're not gonna. So okay, if you were being nice and you were saying, "Listen, man, we're not gonna negotiate in the public. What can we do to make this shit done? And we're not gonna leak out nothing. We just want to fight. How you want to do this? And y'all would have did that shit behind closed doors. I guarantee you they would have made a fight. But you want to go down there. You go down there to his fight. You go in the ring. You say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to pay for all this and this and that." They're gonna make an example out of your dumb ass because you ducked first. You duck, like you really duck. Like this is like, okay, we couldn't establish the terms. You don't like my terms? Okay, cool, we walking away. But you ducked the offer. Like it was a hard body offer on the table, and you said no.
I want these for the winner.
We call it a strategic duck because you went and unified. But it was a hard body offer, and I don't know how much money was on the table when you said no, just to come back around 6 months later and be like, nah, yeah, we can do it now. I'm gonna beat your ass. It's gonna be on my terms. I'm the A side. I tell you, get the fuck out of my face.
And Oscar got other fighters, so you can put other boxers in that core and win money there, and make a fucking good core, and you're gonna win money. It's not just Virgil that you got, like you got a bunch of boxers, so you can make money in the whole card and sell that shit, pay-per-view, good arena, stuff like that. But no,
I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. The fight makes money if it's on Netflix or some shit like that for free. If you put that fight in that type of situation and give us a good card, I could see your point. But if that fight's gonna come down to like a pay-per-view type of situation on the zone,
No, for if
it
this
may
zone, if this zone, no,
The-
no,
it
just the
may
pay
get a
per
little
view.
sketchy.
But no, the
Like
point
they
is
did
this.
it Saturday.
This
Just
is the
the pay
point.
per
The
view.
network is the one that has to give the money. That combined with what fans come in, so it's already limited. And if you're gonna pack the card, they're gonna take from the budget to actually fulfill that card. So
Yeah.
we can't look at it from a fan's to be effective as a fan. We like fuck all of that shit. We just want to see the fight. Okay, cool. Let's take that. Let's compartmentalize that and let's sit this to the side. Like what Oscar and them is not gonna do is the zone will say, look, this is the bag we got for this. Like Turkey ain't involved.
Yeah.
There is no extra money. And the way what boxing been doing, yeah, we need this fight. But this is the budget. Here, this is the budget. Like
And
that's
anything
what-
extra is
Boots
that
and
some
them-
money.
Listen, Boots and them are saying, no, we getting the lion's share and we want this and we want that. And this is the budget right here. And then you got to stack the card and find a venue. Oscar them like, man, fuck no, get out of my face.
Yeah.
And that's not even our problem. This is what
And-
me and AC been trying to tell y'all for the longest time. It ain't even our problem.
And that's what Orengo did. He said, he told Eddie, no, if that zone, if Turkey, I don't want their budget. I put my shit and I'm gonna make more money selling it like this. And people gonna buy it. But
So-
if you
So look, all Virgil gotta do is sit tight. Let Fundor and Keith Thurman get it on. And once that happens, he next in line to fight for the belt. He can get another appointment. He can take a stay busy or something like that. But they were not gonna let Virgil get obliterated and get like basically for lack of a better term, they're not gonna get Errol Spence, basically, to where you're gonna dictate all these terms and you're gonna do all this, and then it's gonna be a beating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, they're not gonna do that. Like they're not. Like it's bigger fight. Like, and that's what I said. As soon as I said that over here, and I was like, man, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Actually, that Errol Spence, whatever. As soon as I said that, the internet, you notice. Look at all them videos after that, where everybody talking about Errol Spence, and even Oscar and them was said we got other options and we working with the PBC. Why? It's the same reason why we was telling Boots not to re-up with Eddie in the first place, because all the smoke was over there at the PBC. Like, truth be told. And so now Oscar and them working with them. And so we'll probably see a Jermell Charlo, a Errol Spence, a Tim Tszyu, a Fundora. That's where all the work is at 54. That's why it matters where you sign up at. Like what weight class you in, where you sign with. It made no sense for you to go put yourself on that island. It's the same shit that Shakur did. Just for him to go right back to the label where he was at to get a Teofimo fight. So Boots is gonna have to double back or give somebody some money to do something, because Eddie ain't been they got a history of lowballing people. They got a history of trying to move on their own time, and people are getting hip to that. And when you ain't got that shot in the arm from Turkey, the fight ain't gonna get across the line, bro.
Yeah, and all I was gonna say was this: when you look at the landscape of 54, right? De La Hoya and Golden Boy seems to have the names. You feel what I'm saying? The fights that matter. So at the end of the day, Virgil goes ahead and he just sidesteps this Boots thing and go ahead and fight all of those people that Oscar can actually line him up with, whether it's PBC or whatever. And guess what happens? He becomes the solidified A side with leverage. Oscar knows how to play this game. He knows how to play this game. He knows how to play it well.
yeah,
You
he
know what I'm
knows.
saying? So
But
at the for me, when I really look at it, Oscar is going to maximize this opportunity, maximize the stardom of Virgil.
he think he's maximizing it. If he think he's doing that, okay, keep it that way. But you're effing it up, because the boxer is not in the ring. When the boxer is not in the ring, he's not making money. He's just wasting time and wasting money training and doing stuff, Or if he's eating, we don't know.
But he has a whole nother
Who? How many Golden Boy
PBC,
promotions
bro.
come
It's
out?
the PBC. At the end, when you look at it, all right.
PBC 2.
When you really look at it, Oscar came out and he was like, "Yeah, we just me and Al Heyman, work through our stuff, and now we can make the biggest fights." When you look at it, Oscar De La Hoya is saying, "I am the premier, and right now, the only solidified premier American boxing promotion. I have a home. I have a home. My network is the Zone, Sky Sports, however people want to break it down. But he has a solid network deal. He has a solid fighter. Boots and Virgil are the biggest names at 154.
Yeah. Well, nah,
don't
because
know.
now
I think
Sander is gonna
Fundora-
fight, and Sander got a name. If he win, he's gonna
think
have a
Fundora's
bigger
the
name and a bigger crowd.
Fundora's bigger. I think
And
Fundora's
Fundora
bigger.
have a bigger crowd than that Virgil.
I mean,
for him out.
I would probably say overall yes, but in this moment, you feel what I'm saying?
Virgil is not even in that level of fan base. Like Bootsen is got the Black American, like they got and more, But when I'm saying the core, Sander Saya got the Puerto Rican crowd, and half of it is waiting like he wins this 31st, and other people, and they are marketing really good. Fundora being marketed super good. He got his victories and he got the Mexican crowd by the neck. And Virgil Ortiz is not there.
But let me make it more simple.
There.
Let me make it a little more simple. Like right now, what's about to happen is when you look at this, right? Eddie, the only thing he got right now is he's renting the guy right here, Bakram, with the IBF. He's renting that guy. Why? Because he won that purse bid. So I don't know what kind of deal they got. They trying to say that they got it to where somebody tried to say this. I don't know. Go qualify this. But what they were trying to say is when he won that purse bid, he pretty much won that purse bid with basically like a 2-fight deal. Basically so that whereas if Bakram is to win this against Kelly, whoever the winner of that is, he has that to where more than likely he can line it up to where Boots can get that fight. So they got to keep their fingers crossed they doing that. Outside of that, these other 3 pieces on the table, their hands off. He don't have no control over these guys. You got a Boss Baru and Xander. Xander's with Top Rank. So if Xander win, 2 belts going back to Top Rank. If not, it's going to be back with a Boss Baru who PBC gave him that shot with Tez. The other PBC guy is Fundora. So if you look at it, out of all 3 of these options, out of all 4 of these options right here, Eddie he pretty much got one that he can do business with, which is the winner of that Bakram one. Like if Bakram is to win. Outside of that, they're not on the chessboard. So this is what we were trying to tell. This is what we was actually sitting down, breaking this shit down to its lowest level, like business-wise. I know as fans, we don't want to hear this. It sounds like a whole bunch of duck talk, and all you want to see is we just want to fight. It don't work like that. There are plenty of other channels. There are plenty of other channels out here, right, that do that shit all day. They throw people around like rocks. We don't do that over here.
Nope.
So the thing is this. They're not like when Boots went over there and he fucked with Eddie. Eddie gave him a bag. He built up his cachet and he made him more appetizing and appealing. After that, he fucked up by Boots. Why? He sold him a dream and he was not playing chess on the chessboard. Why? Because he told him to arbitrarily move up to 154 at an inopportune time, and he was with the wrong fucking promoter without Turkey support. And that shit worked when you got a bag from Turkey and you got the fighter and you saying, all right, cool, we got the money. But he didn't get the credit for beating Brian Norman because he could have easily did what Devin did to Brian Norman, but that wasn't in the plans. They wouldn't talk to him. They wouldn't do nothing. No. So and then when it was time to fight Virgil and moved up the first time, they said no. So I'm like, I'm done. Like we told y'all. I'm moving on to. I'm moving on to the meat and
Ready like
potatoes,
that.
man.
He want the net of the sun, that safety net. So you give me a little budget and I make these little files and I give them no, Papi, in America you have to take the if you got no guts, no glory, hard game, hard play. Like shit, come on, bro. You have to do it. You cannot have a safety net. Got it. Let's go for the next
All right,
one.
y'all. Well, look, man. This the meat and potatoes, y'all. The good news is that Brian Norman, he's rebounding and he's still hungry. He still got his personality. Brian Norman hasn't changed. The dude is very mature. I think he's done a lot of self-reflection. I think that it's a tough time because of the kind of person he is and the kind of champion he was. It's tough on him because he was just champ of the world. And he got relieved of his strap and he want to get his get back. And so when I was watching everything, he said he basically took an extra day over there. You know what I'm saying? When I watched that interview with Cigar Talk, credit to Cigar Talk for getting the interview. That was the source, y'all. Where y'all can go back and watch the video.
Cigar Talk, got it.
He pretty much said that he spent some time doing some self-reflecting the day afterwards. He answered a lot of questions about the fight, and he was very transparent. And one of the things he said was that his father is no longer the head trainer. I know it's a lot of nasty ass channels out here that worded this shit all kind of crazy and made it sound crazy for likes, clicks, and views. We don't do that here. But to my understanding, and I got to go back and do a little more research, to my understanding, he was saying that his father was no longer the head trainer, and I'm guessing his father was saying that, he didn't even want to be involved at all. And I actually heard somebody say this, and this is how I know that boxing fans ain't shit, right? They said Brian Norman Jr. fired his father, and they said, ain't God good? I'm like, man, boxing fans ain't shit, man. You would never want to celebrate a man firing his father. First of all, he didn't fire his father.
Yeah.
He basically said that his father is no longer the head trainer. So to my understanding, this would be the same thing. And this is how I know that fans be, when it's time to paint a narrative or when it's time to go right, they go left. When it's time to get right, they get left. Like, they always do the opposite of what's right and exact. Because I remember us having this conversation about Devin. I remember us having this conversation about Teofimo. Those are two of the biggest ones to date. And people were saying, man, like Tio needed a new trainer, man. He needed to get rid of his father and blah, blah, blah. They basically said he needed to get rid of his father. So I remember us having a conversation. And so after this fight with the things that was going on and the things that Brian Norman was saying in this interview, he said it became apparent to him that he needed to make some changes. Why? Because I read between the lines. He's basically saying he'd be in there training, people be coming in the gym that he didn't invite in a closed session when he's supposed to be trying to bang on the pad to do all this and do all that. It was people coming in, asking him questions and asking him, did he hear what this person say and did that person say? It wasn't closed. It wasn't like sanitized. It wasn't like an area that was like cut off. Like he was like fully distracted. And this wasn't a man making excuses. This was a man doing a lot of self-reflecting. And he also said, yeah, I figured out, I needed to get somebody and we're looking. So I did not ever hear one time him saying, yeah, I fired my father. My father's trash. Yeah, we bump heads. We don't see eye to eye. I ain't hear none of that. I heard Brian Norman being like, because this is a touchy subject. This is a father and a son. And this is, the assassin, because he's the assassin too. His father is the assassin one, because his father was a pro boxer. And he was, and Brian Norman Jr. has had way more success than he had as a boxer. But nevertheless, that's still his father. So we're not gonna come in between a father and his son. We're not gonna make this shit messy. But what he did say was, to my understanding, I interpreted it as he would have still had Brian Norman in the corner. He just wouldn't have been that head guy. Like the same thing that we were asking for with several other fighters with this father-son dynamic, and there were changes that we could see that was needed. So now here he is looking for a coach, and I came up with a couple people that, like, some of my coaches that I would think, you know what I'm saying, with me, I'm leaning, like, my number one pick for him would be Antonio Tarver. I've been trying to get Antonio Tarver because I wanted Antonio Tarver to work with Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? I think that the perfect fit for Brian Norman, my first choice would be Antonio Tarver. Like, outside of that, it would be either Prentice Brewer. And for those who don't know, Prentice Brewer, he worked with Tiger before his last fight. Tiger, when he worked with Boca Chica, he worked with Jared Anderson. He's a younger guy, but he was a former professional boxer, so he actually been in the ring. He's had experience. He fought Manny Pacquiao. He's a good guy. He resonate. Like, he could talk that shit, and he's pretty stern. The other guy is Coach Kevin Cunningham. They call him this, even though Brian Norman is not a southpaw. I still think that Coach Kevin Cunningham has the discipline, he has the tool, he has the tenure, he's been around, and I still have yet to see Coach Kevin Cunningham get his young prime guy. He had Erickson Lubin, but I think Erickson Lubin, I mean, if you want to be hindsight is 2020, I think that after the male thing, he just wasn't never going to be the same. Like, he showed flashes and all that, but like Coach Kevin Cunningham, they call him the Southpaw Whisperer, even though Brian Norman is an orthodox fighter. But I think Kevin Cunningham has the skills. And then last but not least, no, you got Derrick James. A lot of people was I'm putting that out there because a lot of other people were saying Derrick James. I think when it comes down to the fundamentals, you know what I'm saying, he would be good for the fundamentals because that's what they say. But I think Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin would definitely be a good fit as a team. Yeah. If they got their hands on somebody like Brian Norman, oh my goodness. Yeah. But those are my choices, and that's Brian Norman looking at the coach vending machine like, I gotta choose one. But that's how I'm gonna open it up, y'all. What y'all got?
Well, I did my assignment. You know, you was hitting everybody with your body work, and I went and looked at it, right? And because the guy that did that in Cigar Talk is awesome, so he break it down when you gonna move the arrow, so you read the titles, what they gonna talk. So I bet a lot of people just read that title and went with it, right? So you have to go for when they ask him, like, what happened in round 2 that your dad told you to go forward and attack Devin Haney. So they talk about that. Then he talk about, like, well, having a conversation with my dad that maybe I need a different head coach and stuff. He don't say he's gonna change and stuff, but and they talk like how he break the news, how he got it. I don't know and stuff like that. But and he say head coach when and I understand him because you know how his dad is, right? He's like another Devin Haney, another Scofield. So in the training room and stuff, yes, he's good, but the head coach to be in the game plan to fight and give the instructions, I think another calm down head that is not blood and stuff, and you know, because every father, my son is the next one, you know, father son stuff. It is what it is, but it's not like people are saying that he dispatched him and they're not talking or all that gaslighting because I hear some of it, you know.
Yeah,
but it isn't like that. It's like, bro, like when you lose, you think about what you think. So I changed my trainer, so I changed this, I changed that, what went wrong, and you start to study what went wrong in the fight and why you lose it, you know, like accepting, okay, what I need to change. And a head coach is not a bad idea.
So this is where I am with it. again, I'm gonna bring up the word I brought up when we was talking about other fighters earlier. Accountability. For me, Brian Norman's ability to take accountability and own his shit is so refreshing to watch in a fighter. And regardless of how his career turns out, Brian Norman Jr., the man, I'll always have love and respect for him, and I'll always be a fan of his. You feel what I'm saying? He's one of those dudes that I'll have so much respect for him that I'll just call him champ. Now, what's up, champ? And really mean it. Like other fighters I see, I might call you Jerron or Boots or some shit like that. Him, I'm always gonna call him champ. Because that's how I see him. His mentality, his action, the way he speaks, his ability to take accountability. Just like fighters in the past, they used to lose, and in the ring announcement, they'd be like, you know, the guy was a hell of a fighter. He definitely surprised me. He was the better man tonight. He shocked me with this, and that, and let me know that I need to go back and, you know, tighten up some things. And if he wants to do it sometime in the future, we could do it. But first, I need to go back, you know, to the drawing board, tighten up some things, reevaluate some things. But I'll be back. That's what Brian Norman showed me right there in that interview. All of that right there. So when we spoke about trainers and stuff like this, before Errol Spence and Errol Spence and the Derek James situation went viral and stuff like that, you know, people were talking about getting rid of Derek James. I said, no, why would he? That's his fundamental guy. That's how he built his career. What you need now is another coach to show you the other tricks after the fundamentals. So when Derek James is telling you, you got to step around him and stuff like that, you know exactly what he means. It's no longer a fundamental thing. It becomes the fundamentals because it's embedded in your DNA. You know the fundamentals and you know these tricks. So when my coach says step around, I know exactly what the fuck he means. You feel what I'm saying? For me, that was my argument I was making for Errol Spence. Don't get rid of Derek James. You just need to bring somebody else in, maybe like a Tarver. Because Tarver was one out here saying, I'll get you right. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes down to, in my opinion, who I may think is the best, who would be a great coach for Brian Norman Jr., actually I only got two people, and they both together. The rest of the guys I'm not really big on, but I have another name because I look at the way this dude talks and the way he breaks down these fights. I'm like, yo, this dude is nasty with it. And to me, that's Mr. Gary Russell. Like the way Gary Russell breaks down fights and styles and matchups and shit like that. You know, I think you put Gary Russell with a Brian Norman fucking Jr. and still keep his pops there, bro. It's a wrap for the game.
Yeah, because he's talking about a head coach. You know, he's not talking about
and Gary Russell, a head coach, and the pops is just like helping them understand what Gary Russell is trying to teach them, those technical things. You feel what I'm saying? The pops is the interpreter, the bridge, the liaison. You feel what I'm saying? I really like that matchup. Outside of them, I like Tank's coaches because they know how to take that power and make it energy efficient. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Energy Star rated. You feel, because when you look at how they adjust Tank power, Tank could just box. And then if he gets you in that distance, boom! It's like a bolt of lightning. Wow. It's pure destructive. So they know how to operate that and know how to tweak that and hone that and things like that. You feel me? So between them two and his pops, beautiful. Yeah. But I'm still probably the best. For me, I would really love to see Mr. Gary Russell step out and probably take more of that trainer's role if he can't get the fights that he's looking for, and pick up a Brian Norman Jr., bro.
That's a
I
wild
think we could
card.
do.
That's outside of the box thinking, and yeah, Gary would definitely get him right. If Brian Norman Jr. is still a sponge, man,
It's
Mr. Gary
cold
Russell
turkey.
would definitely tell him how to cut that ring, man.
Yeah,
And give the good instruction, not a bad instruction,
Yeah.
not feeling instruction. Because
Yeah,
when his dad told him attack in the second round, that was failing. You
That's-
even know how he punched. You don't ask your son, can you feel his punches? How you gonna tell him attack in the second round without even feeling if he punched or not?
but with
was
Mr.
failing.
Gary Russell,
No, I'm
he
talking
just
Norman
fought
Jr.
recently, so he'll be able to like show him, put on a set of gloves, and be like, "All right, come at me," because he's young enough and fit enough to be like, "Boom, boom, boom." See what I'm saying? See how exposed you are? You need to tighten that up now. I'm gonna take these off and put back the pads on now. Follow the sequence. Ba 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 ba. And I just think, it may not have to be permanent, but it's like going to finishing school. It's like taking the extra credit, going to camp. Like if you play basketball or football, going to football camp, because as a young athlete, and even as you're developing, those camps have the pros there that have that real understanding, that high player IQ and stuff like that, and they know how to read the other guys, so they'll be able to tone you up. Now, let's just say he went with your choice as a Tarver, but then still took that 6 months or 4 months or 3 months to go work with Gary Russell. Like just be that guy to just get that type of boom, 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 trifecta type of experience. Then it's honed and, really, really developed by your pops, because he'll be able to understand and translate it for you because of the relationship y'all have, bro. That young man will be something special because he still can box.
Yeah, but
And
a
he
lot
still
of the
carries
head
that power.
coaches, a lot of the head coaches, they don't train the boxers. Like what they do is go and study the fight, see the boxers they're gonna fight, and give the instruction in the ring or what. And they have trainers to put the pads, do all that shit, right? You got the physical therapy and the one that take you to do the runs, but it's like three different groups. The head coach is just gonna give you, is the one who make the plan of the fight, see the other boxer fighting, and he's in the ring telling the instruction of what to do. But most of the time the head coach don't train. When the head coach is the trainer, is the shit that happened to Norman Jr., because you're training and coaching, so you are emotional in the fight, instead of a head coach that is cold turkey and is just watching, like a horse race or a rooster fight. Like, yo, do this, do that, move to his left side. When you move to the left side, throw a hook to the liver. That's what the head coach do.
Yeah.
But he
I
need
think
that.
it's good.
He need that. He need months. He need a couple months of that one-on-one. Like he need that one-on-one to where a Tarver.
He need a
let's
new
just
trainer
say,
too.
Let's just say
He need a
Tarver.
new
Like
trainer.
he need because it's not something it's probably not something that you can pick up right away. But like I think he's tenured enough to where he's probably seen it done, and somebody probably showed him how to do it, but it might have been a communication barrier, or they might not have broke down it's like how I teach. I've done a lot of like public speaking, a lot of teaching, going to the prisons, like especially when I used to like go do my motivational speaking thing, and I learned that a lot of times people don't break down the why. Like so you gotta always say, like when you tell somebody something, you gotta be thinking that they're gonna say, so what? Like, so what does that mean for me? Or so what does that mean to, so there's a depth to how it's being done. You can't say, all right, step to the left and do this. It's like, no, And then, because in Gary or Tarver, like they'll be able to say, all right, look, now when you step, this is what you're going to be looking for. All right, nope,
Yeah.
your elbows is not, nope, your elbows shouldn't be here. If you do this, nope, do it again. Step, okay, all right, there, that's better. Now focus on doing this. Now, if you see this, then this is what we're looking for. If you see that, then okay, don't take the shot. Then just step over and then come forward. All right, boom, just like that, like over and over again to where the why and it starts becoming instinctual. But somebody that speaks your language. See, Gary, I think Gary is young enough. I think Prentice Brewer, he's young enough. I think Tarver, he got that down south thing, and Tarver was able to do what he did to Roy Jones. So
Yeah.
it's like, but I don't think that Tarver. See, this is the thing. I would have said Roy, but see, it's a thing with Roy where people be thinking that they can do what Roy did, like, and that's not good. I don't think that Tarver is going to have. I don't think people look at Tarver the same way. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's so passionate about, because I've been hearing him break down fights and give his opinion too. But he was able to do that to Roy Jones. Like, that's the example.
Yeah,
like
that's his greatest accomplishment.
He's an orthodox fighter. You know what I'm saying? He was a taller fighter, but like cutting off the ring and and old school principles. Because that's why I wanted to see him work with Earl so bad. You know what I'm saying? Even though Earl is a southpaw, I still think, and Tarver was saying there's things. He was like, I think that there were things that he was never shown. It's just like the whoever was training Oshaki. I wouldn't mind him peeking out who is Oshaki's trainer. Whoever the guys that's training Oshaki, because they down south, they over there, they kind of like they got Oshaki. I'll be trying to like take a gander and see what they got going on too. I'll go for it down there.
Yeah, like Brian Norman
full control. He can do.
Brian is not a slick boxer. Brian only need a little bit to know how to cut the ring better, and cut the exit. And learning that, you have to go down south.
Well, I would say this. That is probably something that would be later. At first, they would want to teach him because you have a solid, foundation. But I gotta say this because Brian Norman said this, and please don't. I'm not going after his pops, but you still kind of have that B-level boxing style, where there are fundamental things that you just don't know or haven't been shown. You feel what I'm saying?
Foolish.
So basically, again, when you while you're looking for your head trainer, it's not a bad idea to travel around to gyms, inform them, get some work, get a feel out. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how it kind of goes, and then you find out what works best for you, and this is how the process should be.
Perfect.
You feel what I'm saying? It's going to be hands-on, and it's going to be research. Now, for me, as a chef, when I teach, I always teach you the why, and I always teach you the ability to stay in control under pressure. You feel me? And I also show you when to stop doing something. Just as it's easy it is to start it, it should be just as easy to stop. And many people don't understand when to stop. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. This is why you have to build yourself up when you want to become an Indy car driver or F1 driver, because you have to learn when your breaking points are, and those are the most critical things to actually win. In the kitchen, knowing when. Let me just finish. In the kitchen, knowing when to stop the cook tells me you've mastered perfection. You've mastered temperature control. You mastered what we call carryover cooking, letting it rest, but it's still cooking. Yeah. So these are the technical things These are the technical things that you would learn from me, and this is why Prentice was on that list before, but I replaced Prentice with Gary Russell because as of late I keep looking at and I really enjoy them.
No,
Watching
yeah.
these interviews with Gary Russell, it's just like, bro, I could just listen to you break down boxing all fucking day, bro.
And Norman Senior brought him here. Yes, bro. Yeah, and I understand what he really is a hard talk to. It's a hard talk because he's your father and he brought you here all this time, and you
Yeah.
better start saying head coach and I could keep you. But yeah, because now you're here in the lead. Now you need a lead, another trainer that take you to the next level to beat the other ones and keep you in the game longer. And it's cool. I don't see it in a bad way, and I think father sometimes need to step back a little bit, and because you're getting too emotional and you're messing the fight for your son, because that fight was lost because his father was too emotional.
Yeah, it just took him like he said in the interview. It just took him, those 3 rounds, 4 rounds to get back in it and try to figure it out. And to whereas he has to figure it out is where I hear your criticism, Malazar, and I heard everyone else's criticism as soon as Brian Norman Jr. said that. It was just like, yeah, so everybody's criticism of that critical point of knowing what to do, what's the next step after the knockdown, calm you down, get you refocused, tell you what to do, tell you what you did wrong based on my vantage point.
Yeah.
That wasn't there. So Brian Norman Jr. was ready, his body was ready for the big show. The problem was his corner was not ready for those bright lights in that big show, because when it came down to it, you collapsed within your own self, to whereas you couldn't deliver what you needed to say to you, what you needed to say. And I'm not even going to keep it to your son, to the fighter that you're training. You couldn't give him the direction to get him refocused, be able to come back, stay patient, and then climb back and get back in it round after round. So
Able to play
from
that
the
note.
third round, you didn't know what to do. The 4th round, you didn't know what to do. The 5th round, you started to figure it out. The
Why
6th
you have to
round,
figure
you
it
tried
out?
to get back in it. So you lost 2 rounds because you had no direction.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was no tactical, strategic instructions to like nip it in the bud or to to
Wake
start
you up.
to be
Okay, you're
effective.
done. Forget
Yeah.
about that round. Clear here, clean the nose, do this, work in this side, cut him the ring in this place. Don't let him move too far. Like bring him to the fight. But no, he was so emotional that his father was lost, so he was lost. Then he had to figure it out. Not his father tell him, he in the ring. And that's the worst thing that a boxer do, and more with a style like David Haney.
And I'm gonna tell you the biggest mistake I think it was is what he gave. I say fighters like Devin, Shakur, Richardson Hitchens, these pure boxers, a fighter like Andy Cruz. When you give them too much time to think, they will pick you apart. Like you have to put them if you're gonna be a pressure fighter, you got to put them on the clock. It's like playing chess on the clock versus no clock. Like you got to put them on the clock. You cannot give them time to think. You cannot allow Devin to be first.
No,
Like that's
what
simple.
Mattia
That's
used
something
to do
simple.
with
You
the
can't
style
let Devin
boxers.
be first, huh?
That's what Mattia used to do with these style boxers. Don't give him a break. To
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Just
like you can have
hold
all
the
the skill in the
punches.
world, but like you on my ass. Like, okay, all right, I can't even set my shit up. I gotta be moving, and you know what I'm saying. And you
Look what
touching
he
me
did to
everywhere.
Puello. You understand? The Puello
Yeah.
was not able to do his game.
That's
Nothing
what
in the rope, in the defense, throwing here, so Puello couldn't think. But if you let a style boxer think, bro, he gonna pick you apart in pieces and make you look like shit, like Foster did to damn, your boy. I forgot.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Fulton. To Fulton.
To Fulton. You saw what Fulton looked like stupid in that fight, and we know how good Fulton is. And look what freaking Ochaki did to that boy. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like this: that pressure's a pay to put on Shakur before Shakur made those adjustments. Whether he's saying I wanted to be on the ropes or whatever, if that's what it was, we all knew that the pressure, Zepeda's pressure, was gonna push him back there. So he accepted that role until he can make those adjustments and figure out things. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. So that might have been part of Shakur's game plan. You feel me? Which is a brilliant game plan. But what I'm saying is that type of relentless pressure that caused that Shakur knew he would have to accept, that part of it is where Brian Norman, we were thinking that he was going to bring that kind of I'm right here with you pressure to Devin Haney. Just the imposing pressure. I don't have to throw any punches, but because I'm always here. A person that's a master at that is David Benavidez.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yes,
he puts that type of pressure on you that even when he's not throwing punches, you're reacting. You're reacting because he took a step. He did. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tank do that.
Tank is another one. So when you kind of look at these guys that have that presence, or if you watch Bleach, that spiritual pressure that makes guys react without doing a fucking thing, at the end of the day, man, that's the type of shit, that Brian Norman needs to start to develop, because that pressure is also there because I delivered to you something that you weren't expecting. So you thought I didn't have that much power, or you heard of it, but now you felt it, and it's like, yeah, it's not the type of power that'll knock me out, but I don't want to get hit with a lot of them shits because it's annoying. It's like having a fucking toothache. You feel what I'm saying? So that Brian Norman has that one hitter quitter power. At least part of what we've seen, but the delivery system, the ability to put that pressure on the fighters and understand why he's doing it, and when the fighter does this, you know what to do, because now you know what you're looking for. You could just change the speed up and boom, just connect him on the body, let him feel that hard body shot, and he'll start to learn how to be more accurate, be more selective, and he'll be more patient. But the pressure makes everyone, think about you. Tyson was also another dude. Dude used to just be like, oh my God, he coming, he moving at me.
Side to side, jumping. Oh my God.
And he wasn't doing nothing, but dude just like, he moving. It's moving. So it's like, when it comes down to shit like that, you have that type of physique, you have that type of presence. It's there when you talk, but you just got to get it together and figure out who's going to bring that out of you. And I think that's what his pops understood, and that's why where the media is trying to use words like he fired and, what's he going to be like without his pops in his corner. It's like, y'all in like a R&B thing, man.
Tell me, this fight will sell Subriel Matias versus Brian Norman Jr. in 147 pounds.
Fuck yeah.
Sell or don't sell?
Hell yeah, that is gonna sell.
Hell yeah.
Wait. Shit.
What's up, Calico?
Calico.
Yo.
What's happening, man?
What's going on, brother?
How you been?
It's all good. It's all good. I guess we all talking about how, the Normans done went their separate ways, sort of. But I literally said this a couple weeks ago.
that if Norman Sr. cared about his son, he would, he's an ex-boxer. He should treat it like he's still boxing and go get the very best trainer that he would get for himself and get that for his son, you know? And it don't seem like he's gonna help pick the trainer at all because he's not, thinking like what I'm saying. But it's all about what's best for the young man's career. You feel me?
Yeah, who you think? What's some guys that you think? What's some options? Like, what's a couple options you think would be a good fit for Brian Norman? Because we solution oriented over here. We ain't just gonna be messy and all that. And to my understanding, he not even. It's just like he's just not the head trainer, but he just need a new head trainer. And Brian Norman Sr. can still be a part of it. But who you think might be a good fit?
I would say guys like Coach Breadman. A lot of people say Derek James, and I also say Joe Goosen. I like Joe Goosen a lot, and his boxing acumen. If he can translate that boxing acumen into that young man, then he'll be a whole different fighter.
Okay, so that's gonna lead me to this question: with Goosen working with Mario Barrios, is Mario Barrios?
Oh yeah, conflict of interest. Yeah.
Is he gonna beat Ryan?
Yeah, I do feel so. Because, come on, man, what did Rolly Romero do that can't be replicated? I understand maybe Barrios doesn't have Rolly's power, but a good high guard is almost all you need to beat Ryan Garcia. Just a good high guard.
Man, that's I gotta see that now. I gotta see that, man. Because
you know what? No, Junior, because I'm Puerto Rican. I would like him to see him with a Puerto Rican trainer. You know why? Because we have make our style kind of like to contrast the American slick style and the Mexican. With the Mexican we got the hook and stuff, but that's why we cut the ring so much. That's why we cut the X's. If you see the Puerto Rican boxers are good cutting X's and cutting the ring because we train for it because the American slick style. So to defeat the American slick style, you need to know how to cut the ring and cut the exit. That's so basic in Puerto Rico. So that's why I will choose,
But Puerto Ricans are more athletic. Y'all more athletic than Mexicans, man. Let's be.
Oh yeah, and Brian Norman Jr. is athletic. That's what I'm saying.
To me, he's a black Mexican.
Who?
Brian Norman Jr.
Why?
He's not athletic when it comes to black people, but he's athletic. When it comes to black people, like we the most athletic people in the world, and he's not one of them. But he's athletic.
Yeah, he can move, he can cut the ring. Because when you cut the ring and cut the exit, it's not like when you are moving in your back foot. You don't need that athleticism like when you're moving in the back foot. You're cutting exit. You're not letting your opponent move out of your way. You feel me? Like that's deep. So for that way, but it's a bunch of trainers that can do that. I said because I'm Puerto Rican and of course she's a Puerto Rican trainer. You feel me? That's why. Not like whatever he choose, I'm down with it. I like his style. So.
Dev said, "What y'all think about Abel Sanchez?"
See the problem with some of the guys that even Calico named and stuff like that, and the trainer that's training Barrios is understanding where Brian Norman is and understanding who this young man is. And Brian Norman is like one of those people that I would say is kind of like myself that would come up with something like this. Me and my girlfriend always joke. I'll say something to her and she says, "Oh, you think you know everything?" And I say, "You motherfucking right. Because I know what I know and I know what I don't know."
Women's
Brian
always say
Norman,
that.
Brian Norman is in my Brian Norman Jr. Um, based on that interview, I think he's in that space right now. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And a younger trainer that uh, has that southern uh, twang to him, like to go fishing, like to do these type of things, eat fried fish. You can build more of that relationship with. You feel what I'm saying? And you'll have that, in my opinion, that Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach thing, because they both had something in common. Even though you're from the Philippines and I'm from here, our common goal is to get here. And they got together when everybody was fairly young. So when I look at some of these other older, big name trainers, I'm just like, I don't know if that works for Brian Norman.
Yeah, nah. He don't need one of these
I
old,
think
old trainer. No,
I think the other part is like the conflict of
too
interest,
expensive
like
too.
depending on who those guys work with, like
Yeah,
because if they might have to fight with each other or whatever, or down the line, then it ain't gonna work. Like him getting with Breadman, I don't know, because Breadman got like Breadman and Boots, like that's not his trainer, but like
That's real. I was
You know
thinking
what I'm
that. I
saying?
was just thinking that too. Like you read my mind.
yeah.
Yeah. With Breadman, no. But with Bomac,
I just know you're a good.
that one is good
trainer.
too. Bomac, I like Bomac.
I do like that. I do like Bomac. I
Don't
do
get
like
me
Bomac.
started, man. Don't get me
yeah.
started.
B&B is not for Brian Norman Jr. I can tell you that right now. His attitude, who he is,
But that camp love him, don't it?
who
I mean, before the Haney fight, that camp was big on goddamn Brian Norman Jr.
who B&B.
Yeah.
No,
Man,
I'm not talking about
but-
Bomac. I'm
but-
talking about the people from Omaha, Nebraska. Some of the dudes that I know over there. Like you got.
Oh, you saying he had to relocate? I like that. You're right.
Oh
No,
yeah,
but my
personal. I
thing is
don't care
this.
him personal. I'm saying
This
he's
my
working
thing.
the ring.
Look, it's
Why?
my thing though, y'all. Like sometimes the big name brand guys, I'm not sure, because like I've been asking this question, like, is Bud just that special, or was it the coach? Like, you gotta admit, some guys just have special fighters. They're like,
Yep.
the special fighters come on and fight with them. Like, because when I look at the track record of the people, we went over this, and I caught a lot of heat for this. I looked at all the fighters who fought and what they were doing. Like, when you look at Obvious Griffin, and he got his ass knocked out on that Jake Paul undercard. That was their guy. So Cold, he lost. He got beat up by our guy, Diego Pacheco, and then he got stopped by a Puerto Rican dude. You know what I'm saying? In the same year. And then, so I look at all of that and I'm like, man, just because you a big name, like, can you teach this man how to cut the ring off? Like,
Yeah.
like this guy, like Diva said, I like Virgil Cole. I do too. I just know that they like, it's a lot of guys down there now. Like, you gotta be a fit to where it ain't too many guys. But I think that Robert Garcia, he would be a great fit for him. He definitely could tell him how to cut the ring. He fuck around and get some synergy and look at some of them smaller guys, because they got a lot of synergy in there with like Bam. He got like Bam in there. They got another little dude in there too. He cold too. He just ain't. He gotta keep fighting. But they got so many. They got Ryu in there. He got a lot of guys. But
Good decision.
for a Mexican style, he could get a Mexican trainer. But I mean,
I would say
I don't know.
It's another one. It's not Robert Garcia. It's another one over there in Texas that he's very good, but I forgot his name.
Hey, I know if Kenny Porter didn't throw that towel in, I would like him. But he threw the towel in on his own son. So shit.
That's what happened when the trainer is the freaking father on the son. They get emotional instead of let the fight happen and the fighter be a fighter. they get too emotional, throw the towel, stop the fight, give the wrong instruction because my son is made of steel. No, bro. That's why is cabrón. That's why a father-son trainer was so rare back in the days, and is rare because not every father and son can be a team. This shit is watching your son in the ring getting beat up or throwing the canvas and come back, and you have to tell him, bring him back, and make him fight, and hey, go back, do this, do that, and it's not easy. And bro, ¿tú me entiendes? So being a father son trainer is a few that can do that, and now everybody want to be a father son trainer. Everybody, bro, don't work that way. Let your son be your son and do his thing, and you be out here talking shit. Okay, that's cool, but in the ring, in the trainer, let him be his own man.
But I don't
That's
even
me.
think I don't even think that Brian Norman gonna want him to be out there talking like that no more. I think he kind of want to dial it back. But let me ask this though. See, and this is just an observation, y'all. I'm not like, trust me, I'm not. I think that depending on the coach you get, like I think Bozy worked for Andy Cruz. Why did Bozy work for Andy Cruz? He worked for Andy Cruz because Andy Cruz is a supreme pure boxer already. He just needed to learn how to sit down and punch.
Mhm.
But if you look at Tamir Smalls, which I don't know if that's his grandson or not. I know it looked like his son's son. I don't know. I don't know. But if you look at when he got that guy hurt and how he couldn't cut that ring, that dude, that pure boxer was like, I thought that dude won. Like if you go back and look at it, and there's no harm, no foul. I thought they were gonna get Buddy out of there. He couldn't cut that ring. When I look at how Boots fought Karen, he couldn't cut that ring. And the second time, Karen fought a different fight, so he didn't have to cut the ring because Karen didn't make it that hard. So I don't think he's a brand name, and I think for certain people, like let me see, like maybe like ironically, and this will never happen, but like Bozy would be good for a Devin because he need to know like more of the punching technique, like sitting down on shit. But like as far as cutting the ring, I look at coaches like that. I don't think that'd be a good fit for Norman because I haven't seen a boxer like when you look at what Cool Boy did against Oshaki, when you look at what Tamir Smalls did against that guy on that Boots undercard, and when you look at Boots and them two, I wouldn't go to him for if my issue was cutting off the ring, I wouldn't go over there. If my issue was not being able to sit some shit down, yeah.
People don't know how
Yeah.
special Andy Cruz is, like people don't know. Like people like me are crazy on him because we see, in these 4 fights that he got 5 in 10 rounds, and like, yo, he's special and work because he helped his son get something from Andy Cruz, and Andy Cruz gets something from his son, and that's why he put that much. But somebody else bring it out from nothing to make it a star. I don't see him. It's because Andy Cruz is special and already come built up with a pedigree and a style and stuff. But he's not building him up from zero.
This is why. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is why I have, outside of who I said, which was Gary Russell for Brian Norman, I said Tank's coaches, Coach Kenny and Coach Cal, those guys, because like I said earlier, and I'll repeat it for Calico, my philosophy is when you look at how they took Tank, made him a great boxer, and also managed to, contain and teach him how to use that power like a bolt of lightning and stuff like that. I think they would do wonders with Brian Norman in that aspect, because he has that Tank-like power, but he just doesn't know how to use it, and there's certain fundamental things that he doesn't have, like the presence of making a person react without doing anything. Like they have that ability, that Tank, that Mike Tyson. Yeah, that active, like that. Yeah, that active foot pressure that has a dude like, oh my God, what do I do now? Because I don't know what he's doing. He's hard to read and yada 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 yada. Boom. Okay, I was thinking too much. Now this nigga done knocked me stupid. So it's just that type of thing for me.
I got another example. What I was gonna say before you, AC. When you look at Jack Catterall could box. He got over there with Bozy, and I want money off this. Cause Bozy told this nigga how to sit down on shit. Like if you need to work on how to deliver your punch and like how to put more umph in your shit, like how to translate like the things that he's doing with Andy Cruz, he's making him a more better like power puncher.
A closer.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a closer. But like cutting the ring,
no,
you already got to know how to do that, So I'm like, everybody don't go with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
already got his style and stuff like that. He just polish him his power and how to finish the fight and stuff like that. Like Andy Cruz is not a lot of stuff you need to teach. You only have to polish him to the American professional fight, but to pull it, he's cabrón. We're gonna see it with Murataya. I got my hopes in him and stuff, because I like what he's doing. Murataya is very difficult, but I think Andy Cruz got the power, got the ring IQ, got the footwork, got everything to take it to 12 rounds and beat it or knock him out. He got both ways. I see it that way.
Yeah. But
when is that fight, Buddy? When is that?
Yeah, I was about to
here in January.
It's soon.
Yeah,
it's coming up.
The 21st or something like that. It's like a week before.
That's the fight we need to talk about.
Before Shakur.
That guy finna be a champion after 7 fights.
But
ridiculous.
He's that special, Not and then everybody then want to try to replicate that shit and thinking 7 5 8 5 gonna be no. I don't take very special people to do that, and plus he got that freaking Olympic career.
You put your email in the private chat, man.
Oh, you got mine, right? Yeah, but you WhatsApp.
Put it in there again. I'm pretty sure I can go back in my history and see yours, Melazar. But put it in there again though, because when I send out certain lives, I could just send y'all the link like I sent AC, so y'all have it. If I don't want to open it up to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But you wasn't here, Calico, when I did this one.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that was like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
I did come through. Yeah, and I got a phone call, so I had to goddamn, I ended up missing the rest of it. But I was watching it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm like, man, what kind of mind control do he got over this man where he get to go and send this man to clean up all his work?
Yeah, man.
Bro,
it's getting kind of weird. I don't know if you've been keeping up with them interviews, man. Like,
I ain't know the dude that I ain't know he had the alcohol problem.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm hearing. Well, I watched this dude live the other day, and I didn't know he was on this type of time. Where he was saying, Tankamaniacs are mad that Shakur is fighting Teofimo Lopez. And it was something else weird with it, so I just asked the question. I just asked him a simple question. Could it be that Shakur said he's going up to 140 to fight Teofimo Lopez, and if he wins, he's going to drop the belt? He said he would drop the belt. So, what's the name? Keyshawn could have it. I said, do you think that's goofy and highly disrespectful to Keyshawn Davis? And said it specifically. It was the only comment that's in the chat, and I still haven't gotten an answer.
What was the question again?
Who said that? Who said Tankomaniacs?
It was Just Do.
Whatever.
Oh, you know.
I didn't even know Just Do was on that type of time.
No,
I just thought you was the big Devin Haney.
That's just some subliminal bitch nigga shit. 'Cause you know what I'm saying? He just be accepting. I ain't heard it, and I stopped listening to him a long time ago. Like he used to come over here. Like when I first started going live, he used to be over here. But that's just some subliminal bitch nigga shit. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
That's all that is. You know what I'm saying?
Frank Martin was a bomb, right? And I don't know, he came in 140 and knocked the shit out of this Cuban. And he was good, and he got hard punches, and he could not find him. He was so. Everybody say that, I forgot his name. I'm so bad with name. I forgot. Anyway, people say, damn, no, he's slow because he's old and stuff like that. No. Frank Martin was so fast that he couldn't find him, and he was like going around him, bam, bam, knock him out, and you saw what he did till he find the opening and boom, knock. So because Tank Davis fought him and defend his title, he's a nobody and he's a trash, and what happened? He came back, he went to 140 and knocked this motherfucker out. So yeah, and it's another examples and whatever, but people always want to talk like, mira. When the boxer get in the ring and fight, and I like what he do, yeah, he have done another shit outside the ring that people don't like and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true, but that's not in the ring, and I'm talking in the ring, what he have done.
Yes, sometimes with certain fighters, you just have to compartmentalize where your fandom starts and ends. So there are plenty of fighters out there. I'm a fan of the guys when they're in the ring. When they're outside the ring, whether they're getting in, law type trouble, or they're just doing stupid shit or just talking crazy, those type of guys, I say, all right, I fucks with you when you in the ring. Other dudes, I can say, I look at what you do outside the ring. I highly respect, and I look at what you do inside the ring. I highly respect that. Win, losses, or draws. So, at the end of the day, I just brought up that because I just found it was weird. Like, where do you guys pull this type of stuff from to try to make it seem as though this man never tried, never wanted to, and the other guy went way over there? And there's so much proof. It's like you're ignoring the proof to just talk some retarded shit.
It's gaslighting, man. It's just like with certain things when it comes down to Tank. If I don't agree with it or I don't whatever, I just don't speak on it. I don't sit up here and deny or refute or come up with a whole narrative to try to protect the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I could be a homer, or a Tank fan. But that, like I said, that's just some underhanded, like, you know what he mean when he say Tankomaniacs. Like, who's the biggest Tank fan out here? Pretty much, like, that be like, I just don't do videos about the nigga like all the time. Like, I don't ever do videos about him because unless it's some news or it's relevant, I'm not going to do content just to be making up content. See, I peeped this out a long time ago because he's a Shakur fan. When Keyshawn started coming on, his lady is a big ass Keyshawn fan. He need to be careful. You know what I'm saying? She's such a big Keyshawn fan, I would be nervous. And whenever this nigga Keyshawn do anything, I ain't hear nothing. He's always being an apologist for everything that Keyshawn doing because they a tandem, like he's rocking with it. But he want to be so objective and so politically correct about everything else. You know what I'm saying? Miss me with that. If you can't tell the truth about your favorite fighter, and when my favorite fighter fought Lamont, I came out here and did a video. I went over to the Pop Show and said exactly what it was. When the Jake Paul and all that shit was announced, I came out and said exactly what it was. I didn't like, but I don't virtue signal. I don't just get out there and make it seem like I'm just gonna take a shit on a Tank just to show everybody that yeah, I could be unbiased too. It's like no, like if it's real and it's relevant, I'm gonna speak on it. They never do that.
Bullshit and gaslighting. Okay.
It's just like when Andre Ward do the interview about Keyshawn. You see how they got quiet when he was talking about that? They were like, oh, both of them said, oh, they looked and were like, oh, okay. And just moved on. If that was Tank.
Yeah.
I seen 2 videos where they used that man's name in the video, like about him taking a knee. Anyway, got his ass blasted. Tank took a knee. Anyway, got his ass blasted. Sabril Matiz was face down, ass up. Devin was face down, ass up. They act like somebody had Tank face down, ass up.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't see that shit.
Now, here's the reason why. Here's the reason why now I remember, because his argument was, and I've seen this on a couple of other channels where dudes is like, you know, I don't understand these fans out here that, you know, are mad at Shakur going up to 140, fighting somebody and then coming back down. He said, yeah, I can name one other fighter who did the same thing. Tank did that, but Tank didn't go up there and fight the most toughest guys. He just fought the tall guy and yada yada yada, and then he came back down. You know what I'm saying? And
his weight class to his size.
He played the clip, and that's what prompted me, because he played the clip of what Tank said about being at 140.
Yeah, and not every boxer.
Hold on, let me just land it right there.
My bad.
I was just, and that's what prompted me to ask that question, because it was like, okay, you're trying to compare 2 situations. Tank never said I'm going up there to fight somebody and then I'm going to drop that belt so my little man or little homie can get that belt. He didn't do no goofy shit like that, you know. So I asked the question, is that blase blah? Because this is the difference between the 2. Both of them, yes, you're absolutely right. They both are going up in the weight class, taking somebody belt and coming back down. Okay, cool. But this is this guy's natural intention. So I'm just
say that Shakur is gonna come down to 135 after being in 140, maybe win and stuff, you know. And not every boxer gonna be 3-4 division champion. You know, people have to accept that not everybody gonna want to hold 4 belts. You know, some boxers hold 1 belt and defend it 4-6 times. Other boxers, you know, go 2 division with 1 belt. Like, not everybody have to hold 2, 3, 4 belts. Every career is different. You know, I understand.
But Melazar and AC, let's just be practical about something. And this is why they don't come over here. This is why I refuse to go over there.
Not everybody gonna be knowing.
Like, listen, hear me out. When Tank moved up, he got shitted on because they said that Mario Barrios was the weakest link, and they said that Josh Taylor was the guy because he was undisputed. He had all the belts. It was only a secondary belt that they said when Mario Barrios had it. The only thing is, it was a size. It wasn't just height. It was a size difference when that happened. Like, you could see physical advantages, like being taller with a longer reach. Like, you could clearly see that. And he stopped that guy. He said he didn't feel comfortable at 40. That was back then. We don't know now. But the thing is, now we're the only ones that's really giving them credit for going up there to see T.O. Why? Because nobody's saying that T.O. We saying that he's the most tenured. He's been holding it down. Like, he's been doing the most title defenses, and he's the lineal guy. And that's why if he beat him, that'll be like beating the man in the division. He's not the most dangerous threat in the division that everybody's saying. So if Shakur wanted to set a precedence, then he would be going up there to fight. He would have went up there and got Sabril before he got defanged, or it would have been Gary Russell. Because remember, Ritters and Hits is automatically already off the table because they're friends. The other thing is this: he's bigger than T.O.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, it blows that. That's why I hate with these gaslighting ass dudes that come out and they be all politically correct and they say all this correct
And
shit
anyway,
and they want to be
okay.
friends and run for president or mayor with everybody. Oh yeah, hey, how you doing? Yeah, man, yeah, good cook.
And I
It's
don't know
like,
what
no,
you
you want to
cheating
be
in each
politically
other.
correct. You don't
And I
want to
don't
shit on
know.
your own guy, knowing that he's in a sense, he's cherry picking by doing this. We're just giving him credit because we respect Tio. He's not
Yeah.
fighting the biggest, baddest nigga up there at 140. And he's
No.
already, he just moved. Where the video about how he just maneuvered around Oshaki? Where's the video about how when Oshaki was his mandatory, he got up out of there and how he slid by Gary Russell? No, but they'll tell you Tank been ducking Gary Russell.
Mira, buddy, and I was not gonna shit in a boxer to praise another boxer. You know, each one got their own freaking career, and each one are doing their thing. You know, of course, Shakur wanna linger in Tank fame so he can get those. And Tank was like, "Fuck that shit, motherfucker! Get your own fame. Do it in your own." You know, because it's easy to linger in somebody already. No. And Shakur is gonna do his thing. He's gonna fight Tio. We have to see if that he have to beat him because everybody's giving like this big favorite, and he's just gonna school Tio very easy and shit. And well, yet after Camboso, you know, Camboso being the only guy that is the see for Tio. Nobody else. So far, nobody have the see for Tio. So I cannot give Shakur that. Oh, you're gonna beat him super easy and shit because nobody have done that shit yet, you know. So let's see. Let's see. You have to prove yourself too. And I don't know the way he put that chair. Like, wouldn't you think you look cool or stuff? You think we're in high school? You're a professional boxer. You know, sit down like a bad guy, and I don't know, like a freaking boxer. You still like that little kid face, and I don't know. Like at least Tio look like a freaking fighter. Tio's face looked like a fighter face, like yo, you know, he looked a little timid too, and I don't know, it was the camera and they do a little camera shot and was BS over there. I don't know what happened, you know, but whatever. But Shakur anyway need to prove himself, and
Yeah,
Tio
he'll be
is
doing it.
gonna be a good test. You know, I'm not gonna shit in Shakur to praise Tank. Neither I'm gonna shit in Tank to praise Shakur because
Right.
it
Right.
isn't like that. Like no,
Right.
they're two different boxers, two different careers. You was an Olympian. This guy was from the street. You know what I'm saying? It's way too different shit. It was like Subriel and Sander Saya and me trying to compare both boxers. No, they're two different careers. And fuck it, it is what it is. The people who don't want to see it that way, fuck you, Gavin. You are a hater. But I love boxing. I don't care. I love that bodywork.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Salazar, I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you just said the next time we talk about Richardson Hitchens. Just to take that.
Because I don't like him. I was not gonna shit on him neither. You know, you like him. I don't shit on you because I don't like him, and he has to prove himself. I want to see knockdown and see a little bit more excitement. You know,
I'm just
don't run in the last round because you got the fight in the bag. Like,
I'm just poking at you, bro.
But I was not gonna shit on him neither, you know, or call him dog or coward or shit. If the only one was Matias, and hey, that happened, whatever. But hey, whatever. Let's see what you got. You know, I love boxing. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I like Melazar because you stand firm and you represent a boxing fan that like that action. You just like that. You like that action. You want your money's worth. You don't want to go in there and have to get a tutorial on what the sweet science was afterwards.
Yeah,
And like you want to see that. You want to see somebody get their shit pushed in. You know what I'm saying? You want to see somebody knocked out. You want to see somebody put maximum effort, not coast by. That's a whole demographic of fan.
I'm gonna say this.
That's my.
I think Malazar is a boxing fan, but more leans heavier to UFC type of fighting.
No, Acho, no, hell no. UFC, no, bro.
You talk like
I don't watch
I'm
that
not
shit.
saying UFC. I'm talking just
No, No.
mixed martial art like
No,
Pride.
no, Nacho, no. That grappling garbage, nah, bro. I can't. Ooh, no. I like
I'm,
boxing and stuff. I
I'm
was
just joking with you.
look at Tito Trinidad and look Matias. They are two different styles. Look Macho Camacho, it's it's not just one style. I just like, to see them put the effort, put the money worth, entertain me. It's a bunch of ways to entertain me. Look, Perner Whitaker, Sad Yuda, Young Money Mayweather. Like, what's excitement? And not all of them was Suriel Matias. ¿Tú me entiendes? Different shit.
Yeah, you had Cotto and Pacquiao and
Hey,
Oscar back in the day.
hey, what's others?
You know what I'm saying? They was about that action. It wasn't really, and even the style that Floyd had, people they're so high
at the end of his
but they
career,
be trying to say Floyd ran. Like Floyd was entertaining. Like Floyd corralled you. Floyd would make you miss, and you definitely gonna pay. He wasn't in there just like the way he did what he did to Canelo. Man,
no, that shit was, and people trying to say no, Canelo was 45 down already. No, because he bootleg box. Motherfucker, he was 40 bootleg boxer for real. 40 of them, the 40 was bootleg. Get the hell out of here! And he was fighting since 15 years old. Come on, a young Canelo, and you're gonna tell me that it's like when they say Fernando Vargas was too young for Trinidad, but he defeated the champion and he have like 5 title defense and he's super. Get the hell out of here, bro. Sometimes, like Andy Cruz, if somebody tell me, oh, Andy Cruz defeated Murataya with 7-5, Murataya was a bomb. No, it's only special boxers who are able to do stuff like that.
This
is why title defense are so difficult. This is now these days they make it with time, and the boxer only fight one time a year. Well, if we're lucky, twice in 13, 14 months. If we're lucky. So
look, if Morataya was a bum, then Keyshawn and Shakur, either one of them would have fought him when he was over there. When they was over there. Like, so I mean, fans gonna be fans, and fans it's funny how certain fans like excuse their guys from certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird how we let, like, if you're a fan of somebody, you will excuse the shit out of some.
Oh yeah, you fight for him. If somebody talks shit, you go on right. Yes, that's part of being a fan of a boxer, and I get it. I've been, and I always like to have a favorite boxer and talk trash and shit. My last one, and not my last, my current one is, is Uriel. But I love boxing, and I love other boxers too, and I don't let that just because my favorite, like when you have a favorite team or what, like because he lost or whatever. Now I'm not watching boxing, or I'm gonna trash everybody, or no, neither like that, because his boxing is keep coming go, and boxers win, boxers lose, but the game's still going on, and it's not how you fall, it's how you stand up and finish it. My boy stand up, the referee too early, whatever, but we keep rolling.
We gonna wrap it up, man. How y'all want to land, man? Salute both of y'all for coming through, man. And
basically, I'll say it like this: the interview with Brian Norman Jr. was, again, I'll say it again, was a breath of fresh air to see a young fighter take accountability for their stuff and ready to move on. I hope he finds the perfect coach for himself and he goes on that run. Whether or not Devin Haney and them will want to rematch him once he gets there, that's something to be said. So at where I'm at, what it is, I still have a bright future for Brian Norman Jr. He's definitely the people's champ, in my opinion. And I just hope he finds the right coach and we can see, this part 2 of Brian Norman Jr. And that's where I'll end.
I
I
will land.
appreciate the good stuff, AC. What you got,
If you
Melazar?
come over here, you listen some of this chat, you like what we talk and stuff like that in your favorite chat box that you talk to your boxing friends, just share it and share it over there so more people can come over here because Bodywork gonna get it on this 2026. Telling you.
I appreciate that, Melazar. Well, shoot. Y'all enjoy, man. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Be safe out here, man. Hopefully Verizon get their shit together and I'll be on time right back in my usual time on the next one, man. But like, we'll catch up later, man. Yeah, man, we had a good discussion, man. It's always tough, man, but we definitely not going to celebrate because a father gets demoted. I don't even think it's a demotion. I just think that in order to better yourself, sometimes you got to make changes. Sometimes you got to make hard, tough decisions, man, to grow. Sometimes you got to go out and get, SMEs, subject matter experts. You got to go out. You always, and we know this in personal growth. If you're the smartest, most intellectual, most financially responsible, all these glowing adjectives we can use, if you're always the highest, most esteemed guy in your circle, you need a new circle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Brian Norman can enhance the circle by going to go get one of these premier coaches, somebody that can speak his whole his language, somebody that has basically laced them up, had another level of success, and can translate that information, can relay that information. I think Devin got a little bit of that with Mickey Bay and some of the other guys that they had. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it shouldn't be like a coaching carousel, not quite like that, but somebody that has had a level of success and that can, communicate with the young man and treat his father like he's part of everything if his father still want to be involved. But we definitely not going to celebrate nothing like that on some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't listen to these dumbass fans and some of these dumbass creators out here, man. They'll have you looking real sad, Jack. We don't do that. We try to speak boxing responsibly. Brian Norman is a people's champ. He suffered a loss, you know what I'm saying? But that loss is really a lesson because he learned from it. He's going to be better. And it's not like back in the day. Getting a loss is like a rite of passage, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We all take all kind of L's in life. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us, it feel like we take losses every couple months. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dang, I'm tired of taking losses, but they're only losses if you don't learn from them. And it sounds like he learned from it. He's doing a lot of self-reflection, introspection. He's a young man, and maybe he need to be part of a pack when it comes down to, you know what I'm saying, like a camp and a pack when he's getting ready for a fight. And have some camaraderie, some synergy with some other guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, get outside your comfort zone, put some more things in your rucksack, learn from others, learn from some of the smaller guys, and just grow. You know what I'm saying? Enhance your professional career, because, it kind of worked for Devin. You know what I'm saying? The library of knowledge and skills that he got, it kind of worked for him. He gave Devin his kudos as well. I like that energy from a young champ, man. And my heart goes out to him. Positive vibes and energy goes out to him, man. I appreciate what he brings to the table and the mindset that he has. He's a real people's champ, man. He's a throwback fighter for real. So hopefully the camp is going to be, good. I think he's saying he's coming back in March or April. So he's going to have another date. Top Rank is still on board with him. He's still doing his thing. They still believe in him. We all believe in him. You know what I'm saying? He ran into a better man that night. You know what I'm saying? And he got taught a lesson. He can rebound. I love to look. I love to see who he's gonna pick as far as a coach, man, going forward, man, because they getting something special. I think Brian Norman's still a special fighter, man. You gotta clean up some certain things, you know what I'm saying, work on a couple things, and maybe the lights won't be the magnitude of the event and all the distractions and all of that, you know what I'm saying? It's something that he learned, so he's probably gonna grow from that. Anyway, this is Fruits and Veggies. This is not that Reggie. This is fact-based content, not opinion-based. You know, silence is consent, which is the mantra for the channel, which means all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to the things that need to be spoken to. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here trying to be politically correct. We're not out here running for mayor. We're just going to be out here talking that good old boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on. Support the channel, y'all. We do put in like authentic, genuine work. Yes, we talk about some of the same things that everybody else talk about, but we try to be creative. We don't steal people's content. We don't piggyback off of people's content. We do our own things, man. We try to come with a fresh new outlook. And I always say this is the alternative to what everybody else saying. I don't say don't listen to these other guys or whatever. I say, no, this is the alternative to what everybody else is saying. Something that's going to make you think. Something that's going to make you use your critical thinking skills. Something that's going to challenge the way you looking at everything. You know, we're not going to just go on that broad path that everybody's going to, where if you keep following them, you're going to roll your ass right up off of a cliff. We don't do that. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.